good to see you all since this past SGDQ 2022. Hi, I am Kung Fu Fruit Cup, and welcome to That's Never Happened Before. Super pumped to be back with everybody. Man, I'm sure you've heard, if you've been watching other Hotfix shows about this past event, but it was so great and amazing. I definitely cried at the end. So just wanted to say hello and welcome you all in. If you've never seen the show before, we are all about glitches on the show. We want to know how they work and why and what's going on. So we take speedrunners that are very good at the games that they run, you know, top of the leaderboard, or just somebody who's done a lot of like research or experience with the games, and bring them on to help take these speedruns and break down the glitches within them and any kind of other fun unintended stuff, so we can get a glimpse into that and like learn more. You know, you see all the runs at SGDQ and you're like, I wish I had more time to hear about this or that. And so this is what this is all about. And in terms of SGDQ, you may have seen our guest today, Dangers, who is doing commentary for several games, including Super Mario Odyssey, which he is going to be showing off for us today. How's it going, Dangers?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you, Fu?
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm good. I'm good. It's very nice to say. Hi,
it's so great to be here. It's so great to be here.
Yes, of course. I got to spend a lot of time with Dangers at this past SGDQ, and we had already planned to have him on the show, but you know, it's like even better now. So really excited to see all this. So you've had a lot of time with Odyssey, and I just kind of wanted to ask, like, what got you into Odyssey in the first place? Like, I know you run other Mario games, but what made you, I don't know, pick this specifically as like a game you really love or passionate about?
I think it was just circumstance, to be honest. I've been playing Mario games since I was like an infant. So I've actually also been speedrunning for quite a while. But, you know, when you get right out of high school and you start working on a career, you know, video games kind of take a back seat. And then it was around the time that Odyssey came out. I like picked it up, I played it 100%, put it back down, continued working. That's what I always do with new Mario games now. And then I kind of I had appendicitis, actually, believe it or not. This is such a weird story, but I got appendicitis and it put me out of work for 2 weeks. And so I spent my time watching YouTube videos, and I found Summoning Salt, and then that directed me to Twitch. And I was like, oh, there's a new Mario game that just came out recently, right? I wonder if people are speedrunning it. Sure enough, speedrunning was way bigger than it was when I first discovered it. And so I was like, you know, that world record holder, Nicrovita, he's doing stuff that I could probably do. Let's give it a try. And so, you know, one thing leads to another, I guess. And here I am today.
And here we are. And here we are. And now you're going to show us like a culmination of a lot of the things that you've learned.
Over the 4,000 hours or so that I've put into the game, yeah, I've learned quite a lot.
That's a lot of hours. What would you say would be the second game then in your arsenal that you've put the most time into?
Ooh, boy. Speedrunning wise, it's pretty close, actually. Either Super Mario World or Super Mario Galaxy, I think. So still in the Mario family, of games. If we're talking games overall, though, Pokemon has the second for sure.
Just like casually, you mean?
Yeah, casual, thousands of hours into Pokemon games across all generations. So,
but not speedrunning for you for Pokemon.
I don't know if I could do it. I like all the power to people who speedrun Pokemon games, but the RNG would drive me insane.
Yeah, I also prefer platformers. It's just what I prefer, you know, running or playing in that aspect. But yes, I also love, you know, playing Pokemon games. So I totally feel you.
I love watching Pokemon speedruns. I just couldn't handle the stress myself.
Same. All right. Well, we are here today for Odyssey, so I want to see what it's all about. This is the World Peace category, which I'm sure Dangers is going to explain for us very shortly here. And yes, I agree. He has a wonderful, beautiful voice. So if you all have questions throughout the show, feel free to post them in chat, and I can see them right here, which looks like I'm staring into the heavens, but it is chat. So
yeah. I also can see chat here too. So if I miss a question, you want to relay one to me, Fu, that's good. But I'll also pull some out if I see some good ones.
Perfect. Well, I am here to be your backup and to kind of just ooh and ah as you explain things to us. And yeah, we'll go through this World Peace run with like some scenic extras. We just like to see everything that a game has to offer. So whenever you're ready, you can get ready for the countdown and lead us into it. Excited.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I can kind of explain World Peace and what we're going to show off here today, like while we're doing the First Kingdom, because the First Kingdom doesn't really have a whole lot. So I'll count us down whenever you're ready. Production, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, what is World Peace? Now, obviously, speedrunning has a bunch of different categories. People come up with different ways to play the game depending on like progression level and stuff like that. World peace is kind of a noticing that any percent is very like rushed. You know, you don't really accomplish a lot in the any percent category. You're just getting to the end as fast as you possibly can. But it kind of leaves the world in disarray. I think you would agree. If you watch an any percent speedrunner play the game, they're not really resolving any of the problems in the world. They're doing a very good job of avoiding them, in fact. So the world peace category was created to kind of, it presents itself as like a complete the story type of category. And that's really cool because, you get to actually flesh out a lot of the content that's provided for you in the game. It's the quote-unquote intended way to beat the game is to complete the story. And now, of course, this is really funny because here at That's Never Happened Before, it's supposed to be a glitch showcase. Why would I pick the story category for the glitch showcase? Well, we can go out of the way for some moons that are maybe not the fastest, but have a lot to offer in terms of like showing off fun stuff that you can do in this game. So we're going to be doing the intended category in the most unintended way, and I think that's really fun.
It's perfect. It's such a good fit.
So the little thing here, it's just kind of a minor note, but I'm doing something called vectoring while I'm moving this frog, which is kind of just like moving in diagonal lines rather than straight ones. For some reason, that just makes me go faster through the room. That will show up later as well. And going up the left side as well, definitely not intended, but, this game is like half cool, flashy, silly tricks, and the other half is like good execution to accomplish things that you're not supposed to do. So
yes, as we can already see,
a little bit of A and a little bit of B.
Yeah, right away. First mini boss, like just kind of getting obliterated in like 5 seconds.
Didn't even see him.
I'd love to have like a quick breakdown because you do this to skip so many sections. Just like a quick demonstration of kind of like those happy like wall bounces.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I know it's like it's small. It's just the way they're able to kind of take advantage of that movement to then be like, we're not going to go up this place. We're going to like just go up the wall next to it.
Yeah, because that's kind of like cutting corners is a speedrunning tradition, right? Timeless classic. And the cool thing about Mario, like I'll use this moment here to just kind of showcase, Mario and Cappy together have a lot. Like, you've got Mario's regular jumps, triple jumps, all that kind of stuff, dives, side flips, back flips, and all that. But when you throw Cappy into the mix, you can also bounce on Cappy in the air to get, vertical distance, horizontal distance. You can combine that with any kind of jump. And then when you throw walls into the equation as well, you can gain yourself a lot of height by kind of combining them together. And I make it look really natural, but of course there's a lot to unpack here. Like, there's probably a dozen different moves that I'm showcasing right here. And getting really good at the game is just a matter of like figuring out how to piece them together so that you can get the maximum out of everything. Like the highest you can get from the ground is like with doing a triple jump, and then at the height of that triple jump, like doing a cap bounce with good timing, and then another cap throw and dive. So it's all about kind of piecing that together. But yeah,
I'm just listening.
Yeah,
like you're right.
I'm just kind of bouncing around. Yeah, I'm kind of bouncing around. So here, I'm going to go ahead and showcase something. You'll never see this in a speedrun because it's not fast, but this is the first example of something that we can do to go out of bounds. I'm going to go over here.
Ooh.
It might take a couple tries. Hold on. There we go. And now we're out of bounds.
Oh my gosh. First thing that we do, we're going out of bounds. So this isn't used for any category?
This is actually used for something called minimum captures that you won't really see on this version of the game. Oh, shoot. I have to go back out of bounds again. But, the idea is that you're just supposed to capture the chain jump and then throw it at the rock and then it breaks it open. But, we're showing off glitches here, so.
So there is like a random, like a category extension, basically, that would incorporate this. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to use the chain jump in minimum captures because that's a capture, right? I think the game... on a different version of the game, you can get down to 3 captures using some really crazy tricks and stuff. I'm playing on 1.3, which is the... I love this, by the way.
That was awesome.
I'm playing on 1.3, which is the most recent version of the game. It does have a couple of things patched out that don't allow for you to get down to 3. I think the minimum on this version of the game is 13, if I'm not mistaken. Still very incredible stuff. And yeah, some category extensions go out of the way for that. But yeah, I can still do that. That's what's called a surface clip, which is a variation of a roll cancel clip. We're going to be using those a lot to get out of bounds. There's like a handful of different ways to get out of bounds. But yeah, this rock stays here, which I think is really funny. But I'm actually going to go ahead and just get rid of it because I'm going to showcase another kind of fancy jump. I love how it presents it as if like I've done something.
I think there's going to be a moon.
But yeah, I just got rid of that rock because it actually makes what I'm going to do here next a little bit easier if I get rid of the rock. So I'm going to just go up this wall like this.
Wow. So clean.
And then
so
you
this
can get up the
isn't
top of the
even,
kingdom.
we're not even seeing glitches yet. Like this isn't even, it's literally just taking advantage of the movement.
Yeah, I mean, the roll cancel clip was definitely a glitch, but this.
So how does that work then, the roll cancel glitch?
So basically, it was discovered by a guy. Oh man, who was it? It was Zimpars. It was a guy named Zimpars, and he was just like rolling down a hallway in Snow Kingdom, and he kind of just like canceled the roll, which you can do by like pressing a cap throw button and a jump button at the same time, like this. That's like canceling the roll, because the only other way to get out of a roll is to like long jump, or to let the roll just finish, right? But if you press a cap throw button and a jump button at the same time, you kind of throw your cap out like that. He was rolling down a hallway and he approached a wall and he roll canceled like right as he touched the wall and just slipped through it by accident.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And it was a complete accidental discovery. And it turns out that, you know, with a little bit of a setup, we can actually do that in certain places. Basically, anywhere there's like a wall right next to like a bit of terrain that kind of like slopes into it is a pretty good place for you to do a roll cancel clip. And we're going to showcase more of those later on in the run too. But
okay, sweet.
But yeah.
So would you say it's because you have like the momentum going forward in the roll, and then when you get out of that, like it's not expecting you to, I don't know, like maybe your hitbox changes enough?
I think it just,
speed?
Yeah, the game isn't really expecting you to be able to exit a roll in like instantaneously like that. And I think it's like it's a byproduct of the buffer system. Like if you've ever played a game like Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario 64, there is no buffer system. Like you have to press the button on the frame you wanted, if that makes sense. So like if you are trying to do a triple jump, you can't press your A button before you touch the ground. In Odyssey, you can. It'll give you like 3 or 4 frames before you touch the ground where you can press the A button again to jump. And that's just like the game's way of giving you a little bit of grace. So that, you know, you don't have to be as precise with it, and it's a lot less frustrating that way. And this game has a lot of examples of that just to kind of make it easier for you. If you're like walking off of an edge. Yeah, if you're walking off an edge, for example, are you familiar with coyote frames?
No.
Here, I'll show that off too.
Okay, sweet. I mean, maybe if I see it.
Coyote frames exist in all sorts of games, but they're very, very prevalent in this one, and they're very handy because they save you in a lot of situations. So if I'm like, what is it? Just a cliff or like a ledge here. This works. If I'm walking off of an edge, notice how like I press my jump button like way after I've like walked off the edge.
Yes.
That's coyote frames.
Wow.
Basically, the game is giving you like a couple of frames of leeway after you've walked off that edge. Not that much though, apparently. A little bit of leeway so that you can kind of still get your jumps even though you've like left the platform. And it's just kind of like like Looney Tunes. That's why they're called coyote frames. It's like Wile E. Coyote when he like walks off the edge, he's still hanging in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. The goal of this is to get out of the kingdom with the fewest moons as possible. We have 4 out of the 5. They're actually, I don't know if I'm even pointing in the right direction, but they're like right here at the top left of the screen. So we just need 1 more, and I'm going to go ahead and do something that's called a moon clip. I'm going to open this chest and hopefully use this moon to clip out of bounds. Let's see. And then if I do this, yep, like that. And I can kind of just skip back up to the top of the stage.
Yeah, so that only saves like maybe a couple seconds or less.
That one is very minimal time save because it just kind of saves you from having to like climb back out of the arch or out of the little alcove. But yeah, a moon clip is another very common way to get out of bounds. I'm going to be showcasing a couple of those as we go along as well. But essentially, when the moon spawns in, you're not able to grab it right away. So we use that 1 second or 2 to set ourselves up. We do a backflip and then a cap throw with perfect timing, and that also kind of manipulates Mario's position in a really weird way. We use that to our advantage. So if we're like stuck in a ceiling or beside a wall or something, when we do that, then we can just kind of clip through it when we regain control of Mario after the animation.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're only in Cascade and we've already broken the game like 3 times.
That is what the show is all about. I'm telling you.
Let's go.
The more we can see this, the better.
All right. Sand Kingdom. I love Sand Kingdom. It's nice and open. There's lots of moons to collect, which means there's lots of stuff to showcase. So
perfect. Right, because it starts you off a little chill. Oh, we didn't even get to see our little T-Rex friend.
yeah, no, I kind of abandoned him. I'm sorry.
Is there any glitchy movement you can do with it? Or is that just not?
There's like a coin duplication thing, but it's kind of out of the way and like not something I'd be able to show off very easy.
Okay.
But I do want to show you this. So I just planted the seed in the pot, right? I'm gonna cheat. You can try this at home, actually. This is like the easiest thing in Odyssey to do. If you don't have time, maybe you're waiting for dinner to cook or something and you can't wait for the seed to grow. It takes 20 real minutes. You can just go in your Switch clock and set it forward an hour and it'll just grow right before your eyes.
Animal Crossing won't let you do that.
Yeah, it'll get angry at you if you do.
Yeah, or they're just like, the changes won't take effect until you reopen it. But I didn't realize that it would actually go into effect here.
Yeah, speedrunners actually use that. They use that in combination with daylight savings time. They basically set their Switch clock to a moment where like daylight savings time would tick over like right after they plant the seed in order to do that, what I just did, without having to go into the Switch menu during the run, which is pretty cool.
Amazing.
All right, I'm going to do a little bit of a trick here called a Dram Strat or a Capture Warp. I'm going to throw Cappy here and hold him out, grab this moon, and then shake my controller. And if it worked properly, I just warp right back up to the top of the stage. Now I'm also going to
Because you got it right when an enemy was coming?
Yeah, like that bullet bill was in perfect place so that Cappy could just like home in on them. I'm going to do another clip out of bounds here. Nice. So this is actually the newest clip that's been found in the game. That's called a platform clip. And basically, it's the only place in the game where that kind of clip really works. And you basically just position yourself to the, like right as the platform is about to push into the wall, you just kind of position Mario there and it pushes you out, which is great.
Wait, so you don't have to do any, there's no buttons you hit? Like, what do you?
I just have to throw Cappy into the wall to kind of stabilize Mario's position there, and then he just gets pushed out.
Okay, and there's no like, it's not like specific timing on it.
I mean, it is a little bit precise. It is a little bit, but it is a very easy trick compared to some of the other ones.
Would you say this is like one of the first things somebody could try to learn?
I think if you're going to learn anything, there are some other tricks upcoming. Like the seed growing one is a trick that you could do immediately without any skill at all. The cool thing about this platform clip, though, is that it pushed me inside the ruins, and I can grab that moon out of bounds, and I'm staying out of bounds so that I can go over here and enter the Sphinx room from the back.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Just grab some.
So it's like a 2-in-1.
Coins.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they actually just routed this into any percent recently because these moons have a history of being in any percent, but they've recently become too slow. But that platform clip made them viable again, which is pretty cool. All right, now I'm back here. I just kind of wanted to grab another bullet bill. We're going to take this bullet bill for a little bit of a journey. I'm going to do kind of a little fancy thing here. You can like uncapture the bullet bill and then just kind of like up throw and recapture him again and like take him on a journey. So I'm going to do that.
Awesome.
I just want that checkpoint for later, so I thought I would show that off. And now we're going to do something here. So there's actually, you know what, I'll do both. Why not? I feel like I understand the flow of this show now, so I'm going to go nice and slow. Here's another roll cancel clip you can do. I'm going to position myself on the wall like right here. And if I do that, I can just clip through.
Wait. Wait, so you basically, it looked like it was like right under the tear duct, right?
Yeah.
You're doing it again?
I'll do it again, sure. Yeah. No, the door stays closed.
Under that tear duct.
Yeah,
nostril.
so I'm like sliding along the wall to kind of gain my position. And then what I want to do is a roll cancel clip. But in order to roll cancel, I need to roll first. So I jump in the air. This is basically what I'm doing. I'm jumping in the air, ground pounding, rolling, and then canceling the roll right afterwards. But it all happens in quick succession. So it looks like that. And the jump, like my positioning on the wall matters, how high I jump matters, and how fast I do all my inputs matters. And then you slip through the wall.
Dang.
Now, that obviously seems fast, because if you've played this game before, you know that like you have to, in order to get into this, in order for this door to open, you have to accomplish like all the story stuff. You have to like go up the top of the tower and get the moon up there, and then you need to go over to like the ruins that are over there and like collect a bunch of moon shards, and then the door opens. So this is really fast, but it's actually not the fastest way to get to the top of the pyramid. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we do that now. Come up here. And this is like the 2D section that you access when you're inside the pyramid. You come back out to the outside.
Oh my!
But you can
yes.
you can just jump up here, as it turns out. And then we still have a ways to go. The top of the pyramid is kind of far up there, but that's where this next trick comes in. This is called IP skip. It's going to take me a while probably, but bear with me.
IP skip.
Oh, never mind.
Oh. Okay, so we clipped into the wall again.
We clipped into the wall.
Was that a different type, or was it like also the similar roll style?
This is a new clip. This is a new clip. This is what's called a corner clip. And basically, you can think, this game is so broken all over the place. It's so funny. You can think of like the corners where all the walls meet like this as having a crease that never got filled in. And sometimes if you like jump at it at the right angle, you can just slip through. And that's exactly what I did. So I jumped away from the pyramid so that Mario could dive towards that corner at the right angle. And then I used Cappy to kind of help stabilize myself. If I had just like ground pounded right in place, then I would have just fallen through because there's no floor in the out of bounds section. So I kind of had to like ground pound in at bounds, but also out of bounds. You know what I mean?
Weird, okay.
And then I did some movement to get over here. This is like a safe place to stand that is still out of bounds, as you can see.
Yes.
But it provides us enough of a vantage point. It does have collision. It's for me to stand on yet. It provides me enough of a vantage point. This stairway is actually the stairway that leads into the top of the inverted pyramid, like the ending part. So if I backflip and do some cap throws, we're up now.
And then we like clip up back into bounds.
Yeah. We just clip through the stairs and we're in bounds and we're at the top of the pyramid now. So,
we are.
So we can just do the fight.
Why not? Okay.
Yeah, and this is world peace, so we do have to beat like all the bosses. We do need to complete all the boss fights and like get all the multi-moons and stuff like that. So
we're barely getting any moons. Might as well like try to get.
yeah, exactly.
Try to be helpful at least to an extent. You're making this all look so easy right now.
I assure you, most of this just comes with a lot of experience and a lot of practice.
Right.
It's not as easy as it looks.
It's why we love to learn about it.
That's right. I'm happy to show it off.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah. I mean, that boss fight goes a little bit faster than it probably did in your casual playthrough as well. Harriet throws bombs towards you, and you can just kind of hit them back if you throw Cappy with good timing, so that's what I was doing.
Cool.
But yeah, we have the multi-moon now, but that's not the end of Sand Kingdom. We're about halfway through. Sand Kingdom kind of transitions into a nighttime portion. We still need to go beat like the main boss of Sand Kingdom, so that's what we're gonna go do now.
Okie dokie. And do we have anything like between here and there that we're gonna be doing?
Maybe not so glitchy, but there are some things that I can show off, just movement-wise. I think it's like I said, it's about 50% tricks and 50% cool, flashy movement and stuff that you can do, just a showcase of what is possible. So.
Now we're going to that checkpoint that you unlocked earlier.
Yeah, and I like this checkpoint because this is actually some world peace movement. This is going to be right from the speed run. I'm going to capture this bullet bill, and we're going to take him over here and turn him around.
Oh.
And crash him into this box right here. And
wow.
Now, I'm going to be doing some bullet bill juggling. There's a bullet bill coming out of the launcher to my right that I'm going to capture here, but I moved Mario over there so that bullet bill... oh, he's still flying around. So this bullet bill would launch from the launcher as well. And then I can use this bullet bill to kind of progress my way through the rest of the kingdom here.
Nice.
And we can just go right to the sand hole.
Very nice.
Yeah. A little bit rusty on that movement, I got to admit, but, stuff like that. I just like juggling the bullet bills. That's one of my favorites.
Mario games are so fun to watch, though. I mean, it's just the platforming's so smooth, so when you're able to find, sequence breaks and glitches and stuff in it, it makes it even better. Exactly.
And luckily, the sands sequence break, like this game is pretty linear. You have to go through all the kingdoms. There's no way to brute force that part of it. But, the fact that you can skip like half of this kingdom's story progression is pretty cool.
Yeah. Seriously.
Now, it might not look like I'm actually doing very much of anything right here, but this is actually kind of a glitch as well. you shake the controller to get a boost with the bullet bill, but the bullet bill goes way faster if you stop holding the Y button while you're boosting. We don't know why that is. It's just a thing that works, and that's what allows me to get the distance that I got there. Because yeah, you usually can't clear that entire gap with only one bullet bill.
That's wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Stop holding the Y button.
Yeah, just you do it for the first one. You hold the Y button for the first one, and then you just let go and you keep shaking for the rest, and you just gain crazy speed. I don't know why it works, but yeah, there's a lot of like hidden things that speedrunners know about. They've got like an in-tune knowledge about it that they don't, you wouldn't really know, and they don't even really think about most of the time. But it's there, and we know about it, so. But yeah, this is the Sand Kingdom boss. There's actually, speaking of things that you can't see, but speedrunners know that makes the whole thing faster. This boss fight's pretty scripted. There's not a whole lot, but if you roll between the fists like this and approach the opposite end of the arena, for whatever reason, the fists and the head boss, like they return to their neutral position a lot faster. You can save like 2 seconds by just rolling to the other side. I'm not sure why that works either, but. All right.
I'm trying to think. I've seen like another. I'm trying to think of what game it is, but I've seen another game. There's another boss in a game that you can literally just. Oh no, it's in Kirby. I'm silly. It's in Kirby, which you also run.
Yeah.
Where you can just stand literally right in front of Billy Dillo when he's like throwing the.
Oh, the dancing
little partner at you.
Partner, yeah, that's right.
And if you just stand literally in front of him,
nothing hits you.
Right, it goes past you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo makes their bosses all intimidating because they're throwing stuff at you, but you know, if you just get right in.
And you're just like, nope, here I am. I'm really close to like, I don't know what to do with personal space.
That's right. Sometimes the answer in Mario games is to not give the enemies their personal space at all.
That's what Mario's known for. It's cool.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, he stomps on people. Like that's his signature move. So
yeah, exactly.
Can't be too surprised.
All right. Alrighty. Okay, so now that we've seen, it looks like a lot of the movement or a lot of like the skips kind of came in through the pyramid. So what would you say is like the next big chunk that we have to look forward to?
Oh boy. I mean, every kingdom has its own surprises, to be honest. We're in for a treat. The next kingdom that we're going to do is Lake Kingdom. You get a choice here. It doesn't really matter which one you choose first in World Peace because you're only going through the kingdoms once. So it would make a difference. Like there's a painting chain in the game. You know, like when you beat the game, you can kind of go through the paintings to access different worlds rather than taking the Odyssey. So for any category that goes into the post game, it matters a little bit more. But for World Peace, we're just getting to the credits, so it's not that big a deal. Now, I have a little bit something special planned for Lake Kingdom. There's 2 out-of-bounds tricks that we can do here, so I'm going to go ahead and show them both now.
Yay! Anytime a runner's like, I planned a little something special for this, I'm like, perfect.
Oh boy, let's go. So we're just going to go in here. Now, if you are familiar, there's actually like a little secret passage there. And it's got a lady there, and she likes to give you a moon, but I'm not going to go in there. I'm trying to social distance. Instead, I'm just going to stand here and turn around, go into first person, and talk to her from here instead.
Oh, wow. I assume that also saves a very minimal amount of time.
Yeah, in categories where you like don't warp out of there, yes, it does save like a little bit of time.
Okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and go do another roll cancel clip here. I'm going to go right here. And there we go.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And now I'm in here. So I'll even do it again because I didn't really do a very good job of explaining this one. This one's like wild. But the idea is exactly the same, just like the inverted pyramid. You know, we're finding ourselves a location, a very specific place on the wall.
So kind of in the middle Mario of three.
Yep, you can see like
so why do you do the crouch movement here?
The crouch walk is to just get Mario as close to the wall as you possibly can. That's part of the setup as well. And then I backflip out of it, and I want really good timing because like I can tell what frame I'm going to clip in because of how high he goes from his backflip. That'll be good, right? And he roll cancels perfectly onto this little pillar here, which is really nice. He can kind of stand here.
You're trying not to like hit max height for that. You were...
Yeah, like the height matters because like it'll affect the timing of when you can get your roll cancel out, right?
Got you. Okay, gotcha.
Thankfully, that position actually roll cancels me right onto this pillar. But we can't just like jump into that room because we still have like space above us. If we were to just jump, we would come through the staircase. So I have to do this thing where I like walk off and throw Cappy at the same time, and it kind of hovers Mario out of bounds still so that he can bounce into here. And then, without needing the swimsuit, that's what unlocks that, by the way, is like some sort of swimwear. I can just get this moon.
We just have the moon right there. Yeah, it was almost like you were doing what you were saying, like the coyote jump off.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you waited to do the jump, and then he was Cappy.
Coyote frames coming in clutch.
Let's go.
All right. So I have another one to show you here. So we were talking about corner clips, right? IP skip is like the corner clips, like trying to wedge yourself into the wall. This is another example of that, but it's actually a really, I wouldn't say easy one to do, but an easier one to do because we have some visual cues here. So the corner that we're going to clip into is this one right here. We're actually kind of going at it from the inverse, but I'm going to position myself against the back wall and kind of like try and look at Mario's nose. And you see how like I'm throwing Cappy through the corner?
Through the corner,
like,
yeah.
That shouldn't happen, but it's because I'm finding that crease at exactly the right angle, right?
Little seams and games.
Yep, seams and games. So now, if I throw Cappy and then make Mario roll after him, I can actually just land right here. And again, I had to do the same thing that I did before. I had to move slightly to the side so that I'm like half inbounds and half out of bounds so that Mario has something to stand on. Now, if I do this, just a little bit of movement to do an up throw. That was ultimately my goal. Do an up throw to get a checkpoint off screen. And then I can just go through the out of bounds to get this chest. Usually you have to go through like a maze of like underwater tunnels and stuff like that to get to this chest, but you can just kind of ground pound right through. That makes that chest very fast. And the best part is I got that checkpoint, which means I can warp up here. We were talking about painting chains. You're only supposed to be able to get this by going through a painting chain, but here I am up here, and I can just get this moon for free now, too.
Oh, what? That's awesome. Hello?
Right? And yeah, now I'm just up here. You can observe the entire kingdom, and we need 3 moons, which is a multi-moon, as it turns out. So I'm just going to go ahead and long jump this way and into the arena from here.
Perfect. Oh, my gosh. These are straightforward. I assume there's no, like, real glitch stuff that's used for any of the bosses?
Yeah. Well, actually, one later. I don't want to spoil it, but one later.
Okay.
Actually, 2 later. 3 later? I don't know, actually. It's hard for me to remember.
Okay. We have a few things coming up. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a couple of glitchy things in some of the boss fights, but most of them, especially the bunny ones, are just kind of like recognize what their attack patterns are and stop them before they can do anything. That's kind of the gist of it.
Right.
Also, you have to forgive my lighting scenario going on here. The sun is kind of like crossing across my window, so it's going to be a little bit weird for a minute. But
oh yeah, that's right. 3 hours before.
That's right. All right, that's Light Kingdom.
So fast.
I know. And I mean, I took my time. I took my time kind of like explaining stuff too, but like it really is, there's just so many like broken things and quick things you can do in this kingdom and in this game in general.
For sure. What's the current world record for world peace, by the way?
World peace world record is 1:11:42, I think.
Okay.
So 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 42 seconds. Tyrone 18 holds it. Tyrone 18 holds like all of the world records in this game. He's like, he's made Super Mario Odyssey speedrunning his personal passion project. It is insane to watch that guy run. I think he's Tyrone 18 on Twitch still. TYRON 18. If you guys are not following him, please, yeah, give him all the love, because like the amount of work that he puts into this game, like I might make it look easy, that guy makes it look like he owns the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick little bit of movement here to grab this bunny, and I actually just threw those rocks together. Something very little, like very few people know about. The rocks that have moons in them, you can just kind of like bash them against another rock and they'll break open immediately.
Oh, that's super nice. I did not know that, actually.
Yeah. Makes it a lot easier than like having to throw it a bunch and chase it around and like ground pound on it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to do another moon clip here. I think this works.
It's like nice. I want you to also... Okay, just... Okay. Okay, so you already had enough height. I was going to say something else. Just kidding. So because you had enough height, in the middle of getting the moon, you're then able to dive
So what is happening there? We're spawning the moon in. I wish I could like slow down my own gameplay and rewind, you know, do like John Madden style.
For that one, but you can't like get it back in that same way.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is this trick in particular, the moon clip, is very like one try and that's it. That's you only get one shot. I can't like go back and do it again.
Right.
Especially because when you collect a moon and you go to collect again, like it's grayed out and you don't get the animation back, and the animation is the important part. So I'm spawning the moon in, and then I'm backflipping, and I'm cap throwing towards the wall at the right time. And it's that cap throw that like changes Mario's position really fast and very strange. And if I do it with good timing, it puts Mario's position slightly into the wall. And then the moon animation happens and kind of like fixes him there, so that when he gets put back into the game, he's out of bounds. And then I very quickly use that to kind of gain this vantage point that I've gotten here. As long as I stay.
You have to get that set up before you touch the moon.
Yes. Yeah, the backflip and the cap throw has to happen like the instant before the moon is collectible. Otherwise,
so at this point, you'll know whether you got it or not.
Yes. I can visually see, because like if I was too early or too late, then Mario won't do like a really crazy kind of position change, and he won't be very far into the wall, and it's pretty easy to tell. So, but I'm here now. We can do all sorts of crazy stuff while we're out here. World Peace typically goes that way and just kind of skips that gate that's down there. That's the kind of intended way that you're supposed to go through here. But I figured I would show you that you can come up here. This rock wall, you can see that this is the area. Can I go into first person here? I can. This is the area that has like the tanks that you shoot the rock wall, and it like you could create a set of stairs for yourself and kind of climb up that way, right? The tanks are not here because you're not supposed to be up here yet. So we're kind of in a part of the game that doesn't exist. There is a moon. I can't see it from this angle. There's no way for me to see it. But like right above Mario's head, there's a moon. And I'm going to try and grab it and stay out of bounds. Let's see if I can do it. Nice.
And then, okay.
If I do this, I can get up here.
Wow.
And now we can get a full scope. We can see that like none of the tanks are here, none of the Goombas are over there, none of the rocket flowers are here. And that's because we're in a part of the kingdom that hasn't really like progressed yet. Like the game, it wants us to have already beaten Spewart before we get up here.
Okay. But it'll still spawn in the coins, just not the enemies.
Yeah, the purple coins are all here, but all of like the enemies and all of the stuff that lets you progress through this part of the game is not here. But that's okay. We don't need it to be here. We're actually going to climb this ramp without it. We're going to climb the ramp without the rocket flowers.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah, we can just get up here. Turns out that if you have full speed, as you approach the bottom of the ramp, you can kind of just keep mashing the jump button and it'll maintain that top speed, and you can kind of make your way up here.
That's awesome.
Just a nice little trick.
Of course.
Yeah. And we can come over here, and now here's another nut like planted right here. So it's actually a perfect opportunity for me to showcase the nut clip again. I'll hit it twice. I'm going to backflip to break it one more time, and then backflip again and cap throw towards the wall. And if I did it right...
Okay, I see the beginning of that movement, yeah.
I should just slip through. Just like that. It doesn't provide me any advantage. I just wanted to show you that I can get out of bounds again there.
You're just showing off. It's okay.
Yeah. I want to show everything this game has to offer.
This is the perfect show for that. Please show off more.
Yeah. As much as I can, I will. I'm just going to get some moons while we progress through the story.
Perfect.
Some fancy movement as well.
Okay. Well, it's not a glitch. You just hopped outside really fast and across.
Yes. Yeah. And roll canceled my way around the corner and just some fancy stuff. Nothing too crazy. Okay. I don't know if you caught that, but I jumped on the poison. That is another benefit of the buffer jump. I pressed my jump button.
You actually jumped on it. I thought you were able to jump over it.
Yeah, I landed directly on it. See if it's not still there. Shoot. I was going to say, maybe I'll showcase it again. But like, if you buffer your jump, so you press the jump button before you hit the ground, you can avoid the damage from the poison there. It's kind of interesting.
Wow.
So I got the story moon. It gives us this P-switch. The P-switch is going to give us a flower platform. I'm going to avoid that by doing this. Again, 50% fun tricks, 50% execution.
I love it.
The next place we need to go is up the tower, and you're supposed to spawn another flower road, but instead, I'm just going to go up this way. This is called Tower Skip, and I just... Oh! Okay, hold on. Hold on, dude. Just hold on a second. There we go. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
There we
Very,
go.
very nice recovery, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely did that on purpose. And it went according to plan.
You're like, I'm too fast. I gotta slow it down for a second.
That's right. Now, Spewer, probably the hardest of all the bunnies. If he moves, you lose. So, good thing he didn't move. So.
How much time do you actually lose?
If he starts moving around the arena, you can lose anywhere between like 5 and 30 seconds, depending on how quick
Ooh.
you manage to wrangle him up. Yeah. He's probably the easiest one to stay contained, but the hardest one if you lose control of him.
Right.
All right. So kind of like kind of like Sand Kingdom. That's only the halfway point. We beat the bunny, but there's still more to do in Wooded Kingdom. We got to go beat the main boss now.
Is there anything in like the deep, dark area?
I was thinking about that. I was like, do I show off anything in the deep woods? But I couldn't think of anything like glitchy or anything. There's nothing really down there that's that interesting. It's just kind of a scary, sad place to be if you're a speedrunner. So we won't go down there. Now, the boss that we need is up at the top of the kingdom, so we're going to go ahead and do some platforming here. Now you can see that the tanks are here, right?
Oh,
and
there they are.
I could use the tanks to blow up this wall, but instead I think I'm going to do this. I'm just going to find this place right here you can stand on, and just kind of skip that. Because why would I need the tanks? I don't need them.
You don't need that checkpoint or anything.
Nah.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, I'll grab that checkpoint. It's just kind of in the way. But we just need
So
4
funny.
more moons. So I'm gonna go ahead and press through and I'm gonna hit. Nice.
Wow.
We get 1 moon here for some reason. I'm not really sure. But because it's like right before the boss fight. Yeah. This boss fight's probably the easiest one in the game, this upcoming one. It's not a very fun one. It's pretty scripted as well. I think a lot of the bosses in this game are pretty easy once you know what their patterns are and stuff.
Right.
This one's criminally easy, but there is a little bit of broken stuff going on with it, but mostly has to do with the capture rather than the boss itself. I'll try and explain
That
if
makes
I
sense.
can.
Also, just like a time-consuming boss, I feel like it's just...
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't feel that fun, in my opinion, but...
Yeah.
We do have my little friend here, the Uproot, affectionately referred to as the Speedy Nut Boy. And if we like, that spawning platform is actually very powerful. I've already kind of initiated what makes him fast. But usually, actually, maybe I'll try and showcase it again. I'll stop him and I'll... See how like when I jump, he like stutters on the ground before continuing to move? I can land on this platform and now he's stopped. Now he, like when he lands, he's just running still. That's part of the setup. Now, if I also like jump off the edge of it like this, maybe you can. Okay, it didn't work this time, but you can also manipulate him to like jump twice as far. And if you do both of those things at the beginning of the fight, then you kind of like save yourself some time getting to each of the glowing orbs.
So I guess I like couldn't even tell at first, but you're going faster than you should be able to.
Yeah, because like right
means?
now I land on the ground and I keep running instead of that stutter, so I'm saving like half a second every time I land. Right.
Oh,
and now,
I see.
Now you can see. Now you can see he's jumping twice as far. That's because I like did a jump correctly off the edge of the platform. This is what we refer to as Speedy Nut Boy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so
I'm
now
caught up.
I can do this last phase of the fight really fast because he jumps
The
twice as
speediest.
far and he doesn't stutter. I actually have no idea. She-Star in the chat asks why Speedy Nut Boy works. I have no idea. I don't know what it is. There's just something very buggy about the way that like I guess his hitboxes are displaced or something. Yeah, it's weird. If I had an explanation, I would be more than happy to tell you. All I know is how to get it started and how it works.
And that's okay. That's sometimes that's like all you can share, and you're like, I just know how it works. I don't know who found it, or it's like, or like,
yeah,
what makes it go. I just know that it go. And that's okay. Like we're just here to learn as much as you have to offer. Like I'd have to get like a whole collection of people who've been in. Like, okay, let's research everyone involved from the start of the game. Like that would have to be the show. have to be like a whole community discussion if we really wanted to learn.
That's right. And it helps to have a game be out for a longer period of time as well to figure that stuff out, because you can then run the game through programs that like break it down by hitboxes, break it down by, you know, frame data, break it down by the actual like code itself. To figure it out. Like, that's how we know so much about Ocarina of Time. Now we can do arbitrary code execution and stuff like that. That stuff just doesn't quite exist for Super Mario Odyssey yet. So we kind of just go with what we have.
Right, not yet. But yeah, no, we've definitely seen plenty of examples of that on the show as well. Or, you know, definitely with N64 games. For example, like we have seen OOT and we've seen like Paper Mario, etc. And yes, yeah, you get to see those tools for all the specific, like, oh, here's the frame that I'm on, and this is why it does this.
Yeah. And that
Here
stuff is very helpful for speedrunners, right?
Yes, super helpful. There was even that, the new Banjo-Tooie, any % utilizes, you have to literally draw on the screen.
Oh, really? I love that.
Yeah. In order to, like, see the exact frame. Pretty wild.
Right, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, nothing too glitchy here. We're just doing this fight as fast as we possibly can by kind of capturing the hat at its first available moment.
Right.
And then punching Bowser with it. And shaking the controller is, in fact, the fastest way to do a lot of things in this game, including punch Bowser.
I'm not going to say you're not ruining his wedding right now, but...
Oh, Mario is definitely a wedding crasher for sure.
100% a wedding crasher.
We talked about this at GDQ a little bit.
We did. I may have gone off right before the Odyssey run.
I was so happy. Honestly. All right.
It was fun.
Something I got to explain about Lost Kingdom here. We're actually going around the kingdom this way. Oh, hold on a second.
Oh.
Okay, good save, good save.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my God, your recovery.
We're going around the kingdom this way on purpose, and I'll explain it kind of in a second here. But first, I'm just going to grab that butterfly. And then go up here. This kingdom is guarded by a bird named Klepto. And Klepto is not a nice bird, not like me. Klepto is a very bad bird. And kind of guards a certain part of the kingdom. And if you step foot in that part of the kingdom, then Klepto gets mad and steals Cappy. Instead, we're gonna approach the kingdom from the back. And if we stand on this platform, Klepto is now triggered as if Cappy has been stolen, but we still have Cappy's right there. So now we can go into the forbidden parts of the kingdom that Klepto wouldn't want us to. Why are you looking at me like that? That's very creepy. Anyway, we're just gonna go into the area that he was guarding. I'm gonna do a little bit of a fancy little movement trick. Hopefully I get it.
Do you want to hear about it before? Or are we just doing it first?
I think I just gotta go. It's timing. I gotta go on the timing.
Okay. You know, it's okay.
Hey, it worked. Nice. So what happened
so what
there?
happened?
Now we can explain it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a Trapedal, that guy with the hands. Very scary looking dude. He will grab Cappy and then charge towards Mario and do like an explosion attack. So what I did there is I gave him Cappy and then came and collected this moon over here. These boxes were so far off the screen this way that they kind of unloaded. And that was helpful because then I positioned Mario right here so that the straight line would go beeline for this block that's missing now and explode. Now, if I had not been this far off the screen, then this box would have gotten in the way, this one right here.
And that would have been the one that was hit.
It would have blown up and this one would have been unaffected. So I did something called reverse Trapedal, which is basically just getting this moon first and then having this box unload so that only this one explodes.
Because that was the one that has the moon in it.
That's right. Yes, this one just has a coin, I think.
That's very cool.
But yeah, here's another little bit of movement. I have to give Cappy away, which makes this really scary. I have to triple jump over here without Cappy's help and also guide the other Trapedal into this cage.
Wow.
Now I can come under this bridge, and I'm going to die on purpose. I went to the top of the kingdom on purpose to grab a checkpoint.
And now we'll go back to there.
Yeah, if you death warp, you go back to whatever your last checkpoint was, which is right at the top of the kingdom. So I'm just going to grab a couple of moons on the way up.
I can only imagine Cappy in a speedrunner's version of this game being like, what are you doing? All the time to Mario.
It was like, hold up, what are you trying to do?
I don't understand where we are.
That was a little bit of another example of vectoring, by the way. I kind of like flew in that direction, but then curved glide on over, and it's faster to do that. Just a little time save, you know. Nothing crazy.
Gotcha.
But I'm keeping him here because he's very important. You see that key?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the intended way to get that key is in this game?
A boat?
No, not a boat.
I don't remember, actually. I haven't played this section in so long.
This ain't Super Mario Sunshine. Thank goodness for that. No, you're supposed to get one of those Wiggler boys at the other end of the kingdom and bring them all the way over here and then, like, stretch them in, right? But instead, what I can do is just a fancy little... This. This is another example of
back into your boy.
Exactly. This is another example of a capture warp. It's a little bit more of a technically precise one. But yeah, leaving Cappy there, homing in at the exact right time so that instead of hitting the poison and dying instantly, I just go and glide on. And then we can grab that moon. Much, much faster than grabbing a Wiggler, by the way.
Yeah.
Like way faster. It's not even close.
Did you say that saves literal minutes?
In all moons, it saves like 45 seconds at least.
Okay, so
it's pretty huge.
Anything around a minute's big.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Nice.
Lost Kingdom. Now we get to go to Metro.
All right, let's go.
Metro's lovely. Yeah. I love this kingdom. I think that the climax of this kingdom is what makes World Peace a fun category to run. You get to see the festival.
I mean, it's just so good. Plus, it has Best Girl. That's why I'm wearing Burgundy today, by the way.
Oh, nice. Yeah. For Pauline. In honor
For
of...
Pauline. Just wanted to rep Best Girl.
Best Girl. Also part of the conversation we had.
It sure was. Cat, any of you can fight me. It's fine.
All the donations that came in for what the best Peach costume was, just saying it was Pauline. I loved that. I love that so much.
True.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to be a little bit sneaky with my movement here. Let me try again. There we go. So, Night Metro is like you're supposed to wander the streets until you make it to the City Hall portion, but you kind of just get up to the roof by doing this and skip over a lot of that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a couple moons along the way. Like this.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Nothing really glitchy to report in this part of the game. I'm just kind of progressing through.
That's okay.
There's some good movement here. See if I can do it. Catch this elevator cycle early.
Wow.
Oh, shoot. That's okay. And then just make it up here.
Like,
also, so this is actually very, very easy. You just have to mash the A button. And you can just kind of like wall jump up the pole. And just about anybody can do that. Instead of having to do all the platforming challenges, you can just kind of wall jump your way up.
Wow.
And then scary jump here.
That would get rid of all that progress.
Yeah. Falling down there is basically your run is over.
Oh, gotcha.
Probably lose about 45 seconds. All right. And then the Wiggler. Now, this is probably one of my least favorite bosses in the game. It's one of the few instances of RNG, which is very uncommon for a Mario game. One thing that we can do is in between the phases, he's going to like charge at us. So we plant ourselves in the corner so that he takes like the smallest possible paths in between the walls. You can see how he like starts here. So we like try and bait him into this corner so that he's like right back in the wall again. And then we also position ourselves against this wall right here, because on this third one, we could put Push in the corner again, but we want him on this wall because this is where he's going to do his second pattern. And the second pattern, he spawns into this wall. And the second pattern is always going to be a random pattern out of 22 different patterns. Some of the top runners in this game have gone out of their way to like memorize the patterns. And they'll see like, oh, the Wiggler is coming out of the wall here. That means I'm going to get this pattern, and then I can react accordingly. That's some like next level stuff, but it proves the dedication to speedrunning, right?
Yes, it's like the Knuckles Centurion. If you ever watched Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, really? Same idea?
So Centurion is when you do 100 of the same stage over and over.
Yeah.
As like a speed run, but it's basically just a way of forcing yourself to practice because you have so many different combinations of which like emerald pieces you could get. So that's
that is
the way to deal with RNG. It's just tons of memorizing.
That's kind of smart. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild.
It basically is just IL practice, isn't it?
Yep.
All right.
Just have a name for it.
That's right. The Centurion. I love that.
Yep, Centurion. Apple
All right.
Centurion.
So we're day Metro now, and you would think, oh, well, this category is called World Peace. We've saved the day, right? So everything's fine. Unfortunately, not. The world is not saved here until we go and like start the festival and all that. It's part of the World Peace category.
Yay.
So it's daytime, which means there's lots of moons and stuff. So I'm just going to showcase some stuff as we come along. This is also something that you could do at home very easily right now if you wanted. This doorway right here, it opens up when we get this moon in this cage. But I don't really want to right now. I just don't feel like it. So instead, I'm just going to roll into the wall.
Wait, you don't even have to, like, cancel
You don't
your...
even have to cancel this one. That's the best part. You don't even have to cancel this one. You just come to this wall, you slide down it, you jump in the air, you ground pound, and you roll. And then you're in.
Wow.
And then you can just kind of walk through the walls because obviously they didn't put a collision in here.
There's no collision. That's
yeah,
amazing.
but you can see that the doorway's right here, and you can just jump into it. And then
That's
you're in.
incredible.
If you wanted to do the race before you got this moon for whatever reason. Speaking of this moon, you're supposed to like, you know, drive the little RC car, right? But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ride the scooter instead. Now the scooter, actually, let's hold on. I'm gonna set up here again. I'm gonna do this slow. The scooter actually has a little bit of like hidden properties. If I like turn my controller, you can see that Mario like very barely inches to the left and to the right, right? When I do this.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Okay.
can do that in combination with like a stick tap at the right time to just clip Mario's nose into the cage.
Oh, wow.
And grab,
wow.
and grab the
That's
moon
awesome.
without. Yeah, I don't need to use the RC car at all.
Speaking of the Pro Controller, I do see a question in chat. Would you say the majority of runners use Pro Controller for this game?
Top level runners, for the most part, will. There's a bit of a gradual shift towards the Joy-Cons because they can do down throws in the air. Like if I try to do a down throw in the air with the Pro Controller, I just get like a regular throw. Whereas with Joy-Cons,
Yeah.
if I were to do this, I would throw down. That's really good for collecting purple coins. So a lot of like all moons runners and all purple coins runners will use Joy-Cons. They're also
Sure.
good for trick jumping because trick jumpers will tend to use like a combination of some pretty crazy stuff to get across gaps. But the majority of like any percent speedrun players will typically use Pro Con just because it's more comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, more comfortable. And then, you know, there's always the potential for like Joy-Con drift. That can
Yeah.
really mess with your run as well. So that makes
Pro
sense.
Cons unfortunately have that problem too, but it takes like 3 or 4 times longer to get to that
Yeah.
point. So
Yep, I
for-
do like my Pro Controller. I think they made like a pure white one that actually had the right motion in it.
that's what I want too. Something with a little bit more design. Yeah.
Give me colors that are actual like legit motion, like pro Nintendo brand motion controllers.
Right?
Fine.
Yeah, because the off-brand ones, they don't even come close.
Yeah, I have off-brand ones, but they don't have the correct like gyro and everything like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
They
this
don't have
kind of
the
game
HD
or like
rainbow
a tune or anything like that. You know, you want.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Can a cell phone carry?
Oh no!
Here they are. ADF and I were giggling so much over these guys. Oh man. I've got Fook giggling too. It's great. I can't. It's just the fact that it makes ADF laugh so much is what makes me laugh so much.
So, I discovered that yesterday,
Yeah.
and it's so current in my memory that I can't help but laugh.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna come into this room. This is not part of the world peace category, but it is a fast room. But before I show you that, I want to show you something else. For some reason, this little doorway here, if you crouch walk into the corner, it has a little bit of a secret, and you can kind of just
Ooh.
you can just kind of slip in. You can just
Oh my
kind of
gosh.
vibe in here if you want. Just,
You just hang out in the room. It's like a
weird.
waiting room.
yeah, it serves no purpose in speedrunning, but you know that's just a thing. And this works on every version of the game. You just crouch walk into the corner and just kind of wiggle in a little bit, and eventually
crouch
you'll just
walk?
kind of
walk
if you
and
find the right
wiggle.
angle. I think this is also a corner clip in a certain way.
Oh,
It's just like the
Yeah.
crease is not there, so the game just doesn't know what to do. But I will show you what speedrunners do in this room because it is kind of fun.
okay.
You got to go really fast. And grab this moon first. Now,
Wow.
if I've got it fast enough, I can do this. Capture him just in time before he disappears, and then boost my
Wow.
way to the end.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So So is there no way to down throw at all with a Pro Controller?
There is actually a way to down throw. I can show you in just a second. Just gonna make my way over here. But if you have a Pro Con, you can do a down throw. You just can't do it in the air. If you ground pound first and then press a cap throw button, then you will do a down throw. But that's the only way. So like, you know, it's pretty slow because it requires you to do that first. And you also can't spin throw and do it, which means that you have to do the slow ground pound. Effectively, you know, losing you half a second every time you want to do a down throw. Do myself today. OTEP. All right, so we've collected 3 of the 4 band members that we need. We just need to go get the trumpeter, who's on the roof across the way. We just need a couple more moons as well, so I'm just gonna grab those while we're over here.
Oh my gosh.
Just some movement across the roofs, nothing too fancy.
It just feels like gravity doesn't exist with the platforming in this game. Like Cappy just opens up so much. It's like you're wall climbing.
Okay, it is there. I was like, I know there's a moon in the ground there. Hello? Okay. But, you know, the trumpeter's over there, but I do want to show you just one more thing. Metro Kingdom is so broken. Roll cancel clips are a thing, but roll clips are a thing that Metro Kingdom has. If I position myself like right in the center of this barrel and ground pound like right when I land, I'll just go through the wall. And here I am. And if I jump at this wall, I can go through it. I can jump through this wall and I can go through it.
What? Wait.
Just kind of hang out on bounds here.
Oh my gosh.
Just because, you know, right? There's also, you'll notice that there's this dude out there. He's wearing a construction hat. He's guarding a door that has a lock on it. Maybe I can see it here. The door is locked, like it's not open, right?
Okay.
He'll open it if you're Construction Mario, but you can actually like I don't want to do it because this room's kind of slow, but you can like walk into the loading zone from the back here, which is kind of cool.
I would assume. Cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I clipped back out. I need to be back up there. That's okay. I have a way to fix that. I'm gonna go into this corner. There's actually, you can't see it, so maybe I'll just have to do this. Yeah, Cappy can clip through the wall there and just grab that. So that's pretty cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah, and then we'll just go ahead and long jump across the roof, and here's the trumpeter. The best of the band members, by the way.
Why do you like this one the most?
He's on a roof.
You say more? The closest you get to flying.
That's right. Yeah, you understand. All right. So we got all our band members. Now, in order to save the city, we just need to do the festival, but we need some power, so we need to go into the sewers. The sewer section is like, it's kind of scary. There's like instant death poison everywhere. But I'm going to try and avoid it all by doing another roll cancel clip. This one's probably the hardest one in the game. So if I'm here for a while, I apologize. Oh, never mind.
We got
only
time.
here for
Just
a moment.
kidding.
Yep, so you can just kind of roll through the wall, and we're in the end part of the room, as you can see here. And then we just take these guys out. That clip doesn't usually go that clean, by the way. Third try is really fast.
That was really, really quick, yes.
Yes.
We do have somebody asking about what world peace is. Would you like to explain, or you?
We can reiterate. If you want to explain it, you can, for sure, if you understand.
Based on my understanding, it seems like visiting all of the worlds to make sure that you basically beat the bosses in each world.
Yeah, more or less. We are accomplishing the story in every kingdom rather than kind of leaving it as an any percent runner would. Because you can beat the game without doing anything, really, if you want to.
Right.
But world peace is kind of the story completion percent.
Just not in the intended way, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're kind of not doing anything intended right now.
It's just so fun. That's what makes it so great.
Exactly.
We're going to enjoy this lovely music together with this part. I assume this doesn't really have Twitch stuff, right? Or...
Unfortunately not. The only thing that I can maybe showcase here is like doing a damageless. Hopefully I'm able to make all the cycles and do that. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be very cool.
But yeah, maybe a dance party in the chat for now.
Yeah, feel free to get some dancing in the chat. Would love to see some dancing. Get that GDQ dance going, or the jammies. Jammies also works.
Oh, the jammies. Yes, please.
Yes, if you are a Dangers subscriber. You know, you can also, you know, like when you subscribe to the Hotfix channel to Games Done Quick, you are in part funding our Hotfix shows. So, you know, this is a great opportunity to use those GDQ dances. It is very cute as well.
Yeah, I love this. Look at the dance party we got going on.
One of the reasons Pauline's the best girl. Real.
Yeah, she's so talented.
Right?
She can sing, she can dance, she's the mayor of a city.
Yep, exactly. Runs the city very well. Hey, girl.
There we go.
Perfect!
Damagel's Festival, not too bad.
So fun. And with that, this is probably the perfect time to like get up, take a quick stretch break because I want to sit and have that stuck in my head for a couple minutes. So
heck yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
If y'all want to enjoy the vibes, we're going to take a very quick break so that we can get up and get water and yeah, and then come back and we have plenty more of this game to go through. Super excited. This has been awesome so far. It's just Mario games are just they're so smooth. Like the platforming in these games, I love platformers.
Like
just
butter.
Get to watch things.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun to play through them.
Right? And then if you're new to watching a platformer game like this, for in a speedrun format, for example, like you've never played the game, and then you see it speedrun, you'll just be like, this looks really normal. And then when you try it yourself, you're like, I don't understand how how they did it at all. So it's cool to see the differences. But yeah, so we're gonna get up and take a quick break. Just want to let you all know, you know, while you're waiting or after the show is over, if you're still up and you need something to do, Summer Games Done Quick, since it is wrapped up, we have a whole playlist on the Games Done Quick YouTube channel. So you can go check that out. It is super easy to access. Go to YouTube, search Games Done Quick. It's probably also just like youtube.com/Games Done Quick, but I don't know, just, you know. You can just like go check that out. Go check out any of the videos. If you missed our pre-show, I feel like the pre-show isn't shouted out enough, but that's just because I'm, you know, a part of it. So I have a lot of fun. The team works really hard. And everybody's great. And then there's also awesome runs. Like you can watch the Odyssey run there and some of the other amazing ones that happened. I could list a lot of them, so I won't. But there's many amazing runs that happened this past week. Yeah, and then we're also on Instagram too. So if you just want a little quick bite-sized clip from a Hotfix show, you can always check out other shows while we're on break. That's a really easy way to just go like check out some cool stuff that we put out there, like things from the shows. Like maybe you'll see some clips from the show on there as well in the future. So yeah, we'll be right back. Thanks so much for hanging out, everybody.
See you soon.
Welcome back, everyone, to That's Never Happened Before. Hi, Kung Fu Fruit Cup here. I'm joined by Dangers. He's been showing off Super Mario Odyssey, all kinds of glitches in a World Peace category. Well, we call it the World Peace Scenic Route because we got some extra stuff. Anything on the side that's cool. This is the opportunity and the perfect platform to like show off all of these things, like these extra things you wouldn't normally see in a speed run on the main stage GDQ, you know, all of that. And we get to learn about how they work and the setup and all kinds of things around that. So yeah, I'm gonna let Dangers get back into it because it's been super fun. We're about halfway through the game. We just finished up the Metro Kingdom, and whenever you wanna count down, or we're already going.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how the timer works in a category like this.
Oh, we usually
3, 2,
just
1,
count
go.
down again after break. Y'all good? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, here we go. We're not missing anything, I suppose, by doing this, so it's fine.
Yes, we're not going for world records on the show by any means.
That's true.
So
Run is invalid. I can't submit it to the leaderboards anymore. What a shame.
No.
But yeah, I mean, let's get right back into the thick of it. This is another fork in the road like before. It doesn't really matter which one we choose. So we just mash through the Snow Kingdom first. But yeah, here we are. I like Snow Kingdom in World Peace. That's probably a controversial opinion because it kills a lot of runs. It's one of those kingdoms that, like, in the World Peace category, it's really, really fun and really cool when everything goes right. When everything goes wrong, you kind of just want to cry a lot. So, you know.
That's a good way to put it. Casually, I loved it. It's got some of my favorite music in this game.
Yeah. Let me get in here.
In here. I think I had like a moment of just squealing when I first entered this area, so.
It's very like
All right, so
Winter
right away.
Wonderland. Yeah, just some fancy movement to get up here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to go up to the balcony by using this parasol.
Perfect.
Just some fancy movement. And prepare yourself for another moon clip. This all kind of has to happen with the movement that I'm doing. I'm going to try and get out of bounds again here. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Oh, my timing was off. I'm not in the wall. The idea is
really?
that yeah, so we're out. But that's okay. The cool thing about this kingdom is that there's about a million ways to get out of bounds. So I can showcase one of the other ones.
Sure.
Long
Could
story
you-
short. Oh,
Could you do
what's up?
another like quick recap of what the out of bounds thing, the moon jump out of bounds is for those who may have just joined in?
Absolutely, yeah. So I missed it, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to show it off. But a moon spawned right here. And if a moon spawns close enough to the ceiling or to a wall, it's a prime opportunity for you to do what's called a moon clip. You can use that moon and like position yourself with a backflip and a cap throw towards that wall with really good timing, and it'll kind of shifts Mario's position out of the wall and then start that like you got a moon animation. And when the animation stops, Mario will be put back into the game in whatever crazy position he was in, outside of a wall, for example. They're very precise, and the hard part about them is that you only get to try them once.
Right.
Luckily, this kingdom does have several other ways of getting out of bounds. Now, I don't have to go out of bounds. The way to like beat this kingdom is to like go down all of these hallways. Every time you collect the story moon at the end of one of these hallways, one of these like doors unlocks, and once you've done all 4 hallways, you can go in. But I don't want to do that because it's really slow. So instead, because I missed my moon clip, I'm just going to come to this little hill against the wall, and I'm doing more roll cancels. And hopefully, if we do enough of them and the game likes us a lot.
So basically what Dangerous is trying to do is you can roll in the game. There is a way to actually cancel that roll without a long jump. You can, was it hat throw and jump at the same time?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
The inputs are a little bit more specific than that, but yeah, that's the idea.
Right,
is like
right.
we're rolling and then canceling the roll right away.
Yes.
We do that all in quick succession while facing this wall like this.
And it can push you out of bounds.
Yeah, and this spot is a prime spot because it's like right against you can see that there's like a slope that goes into the wall.
Yes.
And it's really, this one's really finicky. I'm not a big fan of this one. This one's supposed to be easier than the pipe clip,
Which you got third try.
which I got third try. That's okay. We got some time to fill. So
We
if
do.
If you got time for a few donations, this is the main show. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, when you said that, my like host brain turned on and I'm like, yeah, let me open the tab. Like, I'll get it. I'm ready to go. Yeah, we have
it's like-
$10 from Ada who says,
Long time donator, first time viewer. I can't do a German accent. He does it way better than I do.
Oh my gosh.
Greetings from Germany. Oh, this is really not working, is it? Okay, well, if that's the case, like I said, there's a million ways to get out of bounds in this kingdom, so I'm going to go try a different one.
Okay.
Because why not?
We get to see all of the different potential various ways right now, which we also love to see. You can show us as many different ways to clip out of bounds as you like. We are here for it.
So I think there's also a way if you... Right here? I've not really had to do this one before, so... This is... There we go.
Oh! There it is.
And then we can land on this little patch of ground.
Nice.
Now,
Let's go.
remember when I said that Zinpars found this trick? It was right there that he discovered it. As he was rolling down this hallway, he roll canceled right against that wall and just slipped right through, and obviously was taken by surprise. Didn't really realize what was going on. So
Oh, right. Okay, so we just saw the birthplace of the roll cancel.
that's right. And it happens to be a pretty easy place for it to happen by accident.
Cool.
And so it's, if people can't get the moon clip, sometimes they'll do that upstairs version. I went downstairs into the hallway because it's a little bit closer to my destination. You can see that corridor with all the doors that I was talking about leads into like a little slide. And then there's like a light space down there that's got the loading zone. So that's where I'm trying to go. So if I just kind of maneuver my way out of bounds, I can land in here, go down the slide, and I've skipped
Ta-da.
opening all of the doors.
Perfect.
Just like that. And this is the other kingdom. Sand Kingdom has like sequence breaks in it. Snow Kingdom is the other kingdom that allows you to kind of skip fundamental story elements without having to complete any of them.
Right, makes sense.
So yeah. I'm seeing some comments in the chat about this being the Chinese version. Yes, we are playing in traditional Chinese, and traditional Chinese is the fastest language version, just because of text scrolling.
Right.
With Odyssey, you can actually set your text in the game just through the game's menu itself.
That's
No
very
need
cool.
no need for Switch menu, no need for like changing your Switch language or anything like that. But yeah.
Yeah, and typically in speedruns, the less characters you have on screen, the more time you're going to save anyway.
Exactly. And so Japanese tends to be a pretty popular language choice for games that have a lot of scrolling text, but in this case, it happens to be traditional Chinese that is the fastest.
Right, gotcha. Oh yeah, so when you're clipping out of bounds, like you have to find those points of collision, otherwise you're just going to fall into, I assume, just nothingness.
Yes, the game does have like basically a bottomless pit. It will kind of put a death plane underneath everything in case you do manage to find your way out there. So that's what happens. You just kind of die and get spawned back in.
Does that happen in Kirby? I don't. Anytime we've been clipping out of bounds, there's usually somewhere you just fall. It's usually water you just fall in.
Yeah, that's true. In some cases, yeah. I guess it depends on where. Kirby's got. Oh, I'm like not paying attention to this race at all. I am bounding all over the place.
That's okay.
I am bounding. We have time to fill, right?
You're going too fast. It's dangerous.
I know. I need to slow down. You can't tell speedrunners to slow down. They'll short circuit.
Oh, chat was guessing what time you were going to get.
Yeah, I probably let a lot of people down. All right. Just grab this multi-moon. Now, because we kind of like started Snow Kingdom and then immediately finished it, this is the end. This is what you needed to do for World Peace. We still need to collect a couple of moons.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it. We still need
Are we
to
gonna
collect
get
a
them
couple
all
of moons before we
inside?
can leave.
Are these inside or outside moons?
We're going to get outside because the outside before was very like blizzardy and there was not a whole lot to do. But now that we've saved the kingdom, it's clear and we can see things again. So I wanted to showcase a couple of things while we were out here. We're going to go in here. Now this sub area, you just kind of use the rocket flowers to run along the surface of the water, which is kind of cool all on its own. But I wanted to come in here for the specific purpose of showing off a specific trick. I'm going to show you what's called a rocket flower refresh. Now, usually when you have a power-up like a rocket flower and you collect a moon, it takes the rocket flower away from you, and you have to go get another one. But if I do this, a spin throw, a jump in the air, and then a ground pound, you can see that the rocket flower is still hanging on Cappy right now.
Oh, wow.
So that when I get Cappy back, all of my rocket flowers are still there, and I can kind of continue to use them. If I didn't do that, I would have to go figure out... I think what the game wants you to do is skip past the first moon, and then get this one, and then go backwards. But the rocket flower lets you just kind of keep running forward in a straight line, which is pretty cool.
So
I thought I would show that off.
So it's with... When you are like collecting a moon, you can basically recharge the power. Can you do that at any time?
Yeah, you can reach. You can actually, like, if you wanted to, you could just keep doing rocket flower refreshes by like ground pounding, spin throwing, and then letting the flowers come back to you. I'm not sure why that's a thing that exists, but you can actually just refresh them forever by doing that.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah. Another thing I wanted to show, this is one of the slowest moons in the game, but I think it's kind of just interesting. Another way to get out of bounds. What a surprise. We're going to get this guy. And this guy's kind of slow on his own. He's not very fun or exciting. But we're going to bring him up to this wall, and I'm going to turn him around by blowing this way. And if I uncapture him at the right time, I kind of just fall into the out of bounds.
Oh my gosh. And there's no... It's not a death lane. It's just...
Luckily for me, yeah, I guess like the floor actually does continue down here, but you can see that there's like this cap door that is blocked by this wooden block. And if I just kind of backflip and do that, I can get in here without having to blow the block over.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this moon is really, really slow. So you would only ever see this in an all moon speedrun, but I thought it was kind of a cool trick to showcase since that's what we're doing here at the show. But we just have to blow some blocks around, so we've got some time for a few donations. If that trick,
chat, I can point out subs in the chat. I'm not sure.
I mean, that works. There are some subs in the chat, that's for sure.
did have some gift subs in the chat. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, if that joke gets old, you just let me know and I'll stop.
No, it's so funny. No. I like it, and not only that, I'm just like, I want to read donations.
Yeah. Take me back to GDQ, please.
Where am I? Please, donations.
All right. I need one more moon, so I'm gonna go over there.
Sure.
Up there is the painting platform. Again, we were talking about painting chains. I think we've already gotten to one painting platform that we weren't supposed to already.
We did.
So let's just do it again. Why not? They did not intend for you to do this, but because Mario and Cappy are so powerful together, you can just do that.
Oh my gosh. Awesome.
And then we just come on right back. That is a very famous jump. That's I think people call it Snowdram. But it was theorized that when the game first came out, YouTubers were like frothing at the mouth over like, oh, can you do this jump? The impossible jump? Can you clear this gap? Is it possible? Now speedrunners are like, probably the easiest trick in the game. We just have such a newfound control over what Mario can do and all of the things that he can do that it's just like, it's almost like second nature to us at this point.
As soon as you step into the speedrunner's realm, everything just...
You can't go back.
Nothing is impossible.
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like the Matrix when you take the red pill. It's like once you cross that barrier, you cannot go back.
You can't go back.
There's no returning from it.
That's why like platformers and things like these are awesome to try speedrunning. If there's anybody in here watching right now who's never speedrun before and wanted to give one a try, I like recommending platformers. But everybody likes different things. But the reason why I suggested platformer is that you're already trying to do platforming in this game. Like the way in which this game moves and the way you want to move through it, I feel like benefits from like your speedrunning tech. And still keeps it very fun because that's what it's all based on. Whereas like other types of games, especially for a first-time speedrun, could be a very different experience and will open your eyes forever and you'll never be able to play it the same. So I feel like it's almost like less damage is done to your overall experience if you're speedrunning a platformer rather than like a RPG or like other things.
Right.
They also have like wonderful, awesome qualities about themselves in terms of how they speedrun as well. Like we're saying with Pokemon, you know, there's a lot of RNG that you have to factor in, and some people are really down for that challenge, and some people are like, me want run Mario, do good platform.
Right. Yeah, and I think that Pokemon is a kind of speedrun that benefits from, like, if you enjoy having fun, you know, trying to discover the perfect run just by attempting it over and over again, like discovery of that perfect run and hoping that everything goes just the way that you need it to, like then Pokemon speedrunners are for you. But for me, I think that Mario games benefit really well from speedrunning for the sole purpose of like, you know, it's an execution thing. You are getting good at a game that you're not typically supposed to be getting good at. But it can prolong the life of a game for you because once you've accomplished the challenges in a Mario game, what else is there to do, really? Like, you can play it again, but the puzzles are something that you know the answer to. So you might be able to do them a little bit better or faster, right? And so you can make a challenge out of just that on its own. And that's what I think speedrunning really benefits from in Mario games.
Right.
All right. I'm going to show off a little bit of, well, I'm going to try. This is another one of those, like, one-time tricks. I get one shot at this. Let's see if I can make it. Oh, hold on. I'm going to get rid of these.
Okay.
Nope, not the front of the chest, please. Yeah, I did it. Nice. Cool.
Oh my god. What?
So we're out of bounds again. I bet you're not shocked by now.
I'm not shocked, but I'm like, okay, how this time?
So the bonks against the wall and the bonk against the floor were all to set up my position very specifically so that when I shake, I do an attack, right? This. I shake it with good timing, and the back of the chest opens up and pushes me out. And now I'm just out. And the cool thing about this fish, aside from the camera being very bad, the cool thing about this fish is this attack hitbox is gigantic. Like you can see, I'm like outside the wall. I shake my controller, and I can grab the moon, and I can stay out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's good to be out here.
Oh, and there's another moon right there.
Yeah,
no
so
way.
Getting out of bounds in Seaside is like nuts. Like you can go anywhere, you can explore anything, and because there's a lot of moons in like little caverns and little tunnels and stuff, like this one, for example, so the same thing. I can just shake and I can grab it from out of bounds. which I think is really, really funny. There's also like a glowy spot in the ground, like right here. I can like shake it and it'll activate the moon. I actually don't even need that moon. I just wanted to show that off. But the best thing is that that's not even like the only way to get out of bounds in the seaside. You were asking about beginner tricks, right?
Yes.
Here's a really good one. So you find these like sand mounds here. Just to the right of those, I guess to the east and to the north, there's like this little part in the sand. You can see how the sand turns yellow towards the borders. If I try to swim out against I guess, the out of bounds, it like pushes me back. There's like an invisible, not a wall, but a barrier, right? And it keeps pushing me back.
Yeah.
This little crease right here is a part where I can kind of slip past that barrier a little bit more than normal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to swim into it and then uncapture the fish. And I have to bring Mario back inbounds so the game doesn't think that I'm out of bounds. And then it like refreshes that push. So I can capture the fish and then boost out again, and suddenly I've slipped past the invisible barrier and I'm back out of bounds again.
And there's your out of bounds.
That one is extremely easy. There are like really good tutorials out there to teach you how to do that. It's probably one of the first speedrun tricks that you could learn in Odyssey with very little experience of the game. But same thing. There's like all sorts of moons out here that I can just get out of bounds because the fish hitbox is gigantic. There's also like, you can see that the Sphinx treasure vault is here. I can just swim into it if I want.
Oh, right.
You don't have to answer any of the quiz questions. I can just go in, which is really great. Also, another great thing. There's one moon in this kingdom that I absolutely despise. It's like my least favorite, and it is this. I don't know if this one's gonna work. Okay, we're good. It is this one.
Yeah, easy.
Actually, there's two moons over here that I really don't like. There's this one over here, guarded by an eel. You can see that when you get close, he like, hello, Mr. Eel? Yeah, he like comes out and attacks you, and you have to like get into this little alcove with good timing. But of course, you probably understand how this works by now.
I sure do.
We're out of bounds, and we can kind of stay out of bounds, and we can just kind of shake. But the worst moon in this kingdom is over here. There's, you can kind of see it in the distance. There's this gigantic box. And up at the top of this box is like a door. And in order to get in there, you can see the scarecrow. Anybody who's played this game knows that if you see a scarecrow, you throw Cappy at the scarecrow, and Cappy gets stuck to the scarecrow, and Mario has to navigate the area ahead by himself. So that's the goal. You put Cappy on the scarecrow, and then Mario has to do all of this like moon shard collecting by himself as regular Mario. It's very, very slow. But because we're out of bounds, we can kind of just like swim the fish in, and now the fish can swim around and collect all of these. And obviously, as a speedrunner, that's a delight, because look how fast we go compared to just like regular Mario swimming. We can just collect all these moon shards.
But is this one that you get in World Peace or no?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. This
I didn't think so. Seems like it would waste quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I'm just kind of showing off what you can do by going out of bounds in Seaside. Because there is admittedly a lot of ways to get out of bounds and a lot of things that you can do with it. So,
so what like category would that be useful in, or categories plural?
That one, like coming to these moon shards, you'll probably only ever get those in all moons. Because it's just a little bit too slow.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I think that's just about all I can show you out of bounds. So I'm going to go ahead and continue Seaside. I'm just going to go ahead and do the kingdom as intended here. We're going to go over here.
Okay, of course. This is all intended, everyone.
Oh, definitely.
Everything we're doing, super intended.
This is actually, well, I mean, I guess maybe if you didn't know you could do that, that's kind of cool.
No, I did not know you could do that. Also, in terms of the Sphinx, because I was thinking of it earlier, is there any moment when you ever interact with the Sphinx normally in categories anymore? Because I feel like there's not.
In all moons, you definitely do, because you get a moon for like answering all 5 questions. But aside from that, we use the Sphinx in just about every way but the intended way most of the time, including one in Moon Kingdom later, which is kind of the grand finale. So I'll keep that a secret. But we are collecting a little bit more moons than we actually need for world peace, but it's for the good of the showcase. So.
That's what it's for. This is the scenic route. We're not trying to do the exact.
That's right. Exactly. But upcoming is my favorite boss in the entire game.
Okay.
Mainly because it is one of the glitch bosses that I was talking about. Also, Kitten is here.
Also, cat. Cat.
Hi, baby. What are you doing? Just her butt in the shot. That's fine.
Okay, we got time for a pet.
Yeah. All right. So this is the infamous Seaside boss. Their name is Brigadier Mollusk Lancer III of Fenaba Blaine, and no, that is not a joke. You can fact check me on that one. But
Say the name again?
Oh, sure. I mean, if you're asking, it's Brigadier Mollusk Lancer III of Fenaba Blaine. So yeah, that's his actual name. He's a bit of an interesting boss. He's going to just kind of use the entire kingdom as his boss arena. We have to kind of kite him around. And if we do it right, if we kind of beat him to all of the places that he's supposed to be in this fight, he's going to do something a little bit strange when we arrive at this hot spring here. So let's see if it works. His next stopping location is going to be around here somewhere. So I'm just going to hit him. And he gets kind of confused that we beat him here, so he's just going to clip through this platform. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that's intended.
I don't think so either. You know, I can't
really
say for
don't-
sure, but I feel like it's not.
Yeah, I really don't think that was supposed to happen. I don't know like why the developers overlooked that though. Like, because you know, if you played this game like a couple of times, you recognize that he follows the same path, and then you can just kind of do that. You can beat him there, and he'll do that consistently every single time. He'll clip through the platform. So, which is very fast as it turns out. Because otherwise, if you miss any of those cycles, if you're just a little bit too slow anywhere, he'll go all the way around the hot spring, and that wastes like 15 seconds. So
Right. But love seeing him clip through the wall.
right, even the
Perfect
bosses
follow-up.
go out of bounds.
Yeah. So is that number 2 of the 3 you were thinking of that have some interesting movement?
Yeah, I think so. There's definitely one in Bowser's Kingdom, and I think that's basically it. So yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely the glitchy one that I was first thinking of, and then I was like, oh wait, no, oh wait, also, oh no, oh wait. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Brigadier Mollusk Lancer III of Fenaba Blaine is taken care of, so now we can move on to Luncheon Kingdom.
I love that so much. Hotfix shows are live. There is a specific thing I think you can see on Twitch that you like have to put, or you are very much supposed to put for reruns. But just so you know, Alpha Cat, we have enough Hotfix content nowadays. We have like 24 shows or something, I think. It's at least 21 shows or 22 shows here on GDQ Hotfix that run daily. So you can see Hotfix content starting from 7 p.m. Eastern all weekdays and then 1 p.m. Eastern on weekends. So there is no need for reruns because we have lots of awesome content constantly. Great. We're
Yeah,
already
lots
seeing
of
some things
content,
happening
always.
here.
Yeah, just some slick movement.
Okay,
Luncheon
okay.
Kingdom doesn't have a ton of glitches that I can really showcase,
Sure.
unfortunately. There was one really big one really infamous one that speedrunners used to use back in the day that was called Turnip Clip. Unfortunately, it's not available in the patch that we're playing on, so I won't be able to showcase it to you. I'll kind of point out where it was and what
Sure.
I could have done when we kind of arrive at the area that we do it. But
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, why can't you show us? Like, we should see it, even if you don't use it anymore. It's been patched out.
unfortunately, it's been patched out, yeah.
I assume the world record at this point, though, is less now than what it would have been when that was available, maybe?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
I mean, the reason that we all play on 1.3 now is because the Nintendo did something that allows the game to kind of overclock and load a lot faster. And that's simply it. Like, it patched
That
out.
saves time.
Yeah, it saves so much time, even in any percent, which is, you know, only about 28 minutes of gameplay at the top level now.
Wow.
The amount of loading that happened surpassed like the 35 seconds of tricks and stuff that were available in the previous version. So
Wow.
it's pretty substantial stuff. And it changed every category for the better. because we can all just play on the most recent version. And anybody who wants to speedrun in this game, all they have to do is go out and buy it from the store now, and they have it, right? So.
And you can get into it. We are not the first step here. This is not the first step, which is another hotfix show I love to recommend because that is showing people who don't know games and how quickly they can start to learn speedruns. That is Hobbs and Keys' show. But I still like to, especially because we do have a lot of explanation on the show, just encourage you all, like for those who are interested in trying to speedrun something, you know, giving you the tools and the knowledge to be like, oh, maybe you can try this out, or like maybe start with this one thing. So like Dangers has given us a great example of in the Seaside Kingdom with that, the little like cheap flip into the water. Super cool.
Just, you know, speedrunning is pretty accessible if you find Mario games. Again, I give them praise. They get an S+ from me for, you know, being very technically precise and having a very high skill ceiling, but also being quite approachable and easy to get into in the first place.
Absolutely.
I've stopped here because there was like a cage surrounding this moon before. This was the cage that you could clip into. You would bring a turnip growing somewhere, and you would kind of like place it against the side of the cage. You would capture one of these Hammer Brothers, these Pambros, and if you positioned him in a certain way, he would kind of just like nudge past the turnip and into the cage. And unfortunately, that doesn't work anymore. So.
Okay, so you would collect it as the little Hammer Bro.
Yeah, you would. And you could like capture the Hammer Brother and like kind of uncapture him and capture him again. It was like a weird combination of movements, very unique.
Gotcha.
But unfortunately, it got patched out. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, this kingdom is very progressional. Like, you collect a story moon, and more of the kingdom is available to you immediately afterwards.
Right.
In World Peace, you kind of have to do all the story stuff, but in Any Percent, we've gotten to a point where you do none of it anymore. Like, that spirit fight at the very beginning kind of opens up some of the kingdom and reveals some of the bosses, or some of the enemies, and all that, but Any Percent has gotten to a place where we don't even beat spirit anymore. We just kind of skip it. And it leaves the kingdom in pretty disarray, because, like, you know, that spawned like a whole platform, like an entire island out of the lava. That's just not there anymore. And we somehow managed to like navigate the entire kingdom in Any Percent without using any of the captures that make that possible, without using any of the platforms that make that possible. Pretty interesting stuff.
Right.
But yeah. So we were a slab of meat a moment ago. Probably my favorite capture in the game.
Yes, I completely forgot about that one, actually. I love it so much.
It's very quirky. I'm a big fan. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of like glitchy stuff in Luncheon, unfortunately.
This one you just get through.
Yeah, we kind of just get through it. There's like, it is a really cool kingdom. It's also very like make it or break it. It's very technically precise. So there's like cool movement to show off.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've seen some already. Some of already.
Yeah, exactly. Like this, I have to. The only way that I can clear that gap without Cappy is with the triple jump at full speed like that. So that was a little bit scary, as you can imagine.
Yeah, super cool though. I love the bright colors in this kingdom specifically. It's so so colorful and vivid.
Like, I often get the question, like, what's your favorite kingdom? And I usually say Luncheon, based on aesthetics. I like that it is just a disguised lava kingdom. Like, you know, the Pepto-Bismol is just lava.
Right.
So that's what it is. It's near the end of the game. Usually you do have, like, a scary lava level at the end of video games, but this one kind of hid it as something else. And I think that's what
it really did. Oh, wow, that was...
Yeah. Kind of just like slipped under there. Didn't bother with any of like the lava pillar puzzles or anything like that. Now I'm actually gonna let this next cutscene play because this is the only glimpse of the back of the kingdom you're gonna get. The way that we get to the top of the kingdom is not anywhere close to what is gonna be revealed here. So I'm gonna let the game present itself so that we can go ahead and break it. You can see that like all this back part is opened up and there's like a whole way to climb the mountain and all these platforming puzzles and stuff, right?
Okay. You're giving us the view of what we're not going to see.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Instead, we're just gonna come up here.
I remember this being in a pre-show, and I was helping Spike
Yeah, they were
edited.
doing like John Madden style like commentary over it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I helped put all the arrows on for that bit and make it look really ridiculous.
I love that. Yeah.
I'll never forget that. But when he started to do it, I was like, I actually know this movement. Like,
Yeah.
I watched it like over and over. It was great.
There's a pretty dedicated community in this game just for speedrunning in general, but like a lot of people still play this game in a whole bunch of different ways. I mentioned trick jumping earlier. There's also a mini game community. Like Koopa Free Running is really popular. Koopa Free Running is like the little race mini game that you do against the Koopa Troopas and stuff. That movement is basically taken copy paste from Koopa Free Running because the idea is to get from that door to the top of the kingdom as fast as possible. But you don't obviously want to do all the platforming puzzles and stuff that they give you because they're too slow. You just do that instead.
That's cool.
Yeah. This is Cookatiel, and despite my love for birds, this is probably my least favorite boss in the game. I actually did do it pretty smoothly, but the hitboxes of this boss are very frustrating.
Makes sense. I also don't like things that try to vomit on you directly. Like,
Yeah, typically
that's
something
me.
you want to avoid.
Yeah, typically.
Excellent.
It's not in English because Japanese or Chinese characters are smaller. It just makes things faster.
Yeah, and that doesn't really affect the gameplay at all in any way. The reason that it's faster for faster text is because of the kind of in between the kingdoms.
Right.
Every time you get into the Odyssey, you have to sit down with Cappy, and Cappy teaches you something about the game, either whether it's like, did you know you can spin throw by spinning your controller, or stuff like that. They'll tell you something about the game, or they'll kind of preface the kingdom to come. And all of that text is something that you just have to mash through, and it's a lot faster to do that when there's less characters. All right.
Alrighty. How many do we have left at this point?
We have Ruined Kingdom, Bowser's Kingdom, and Moon Kingdom left. And then we're done.
Do you have anything that is fun to show off that you know about in like the post-game area?
I'm very glad you asked. There's like, I don't know about glitches, but there are definitely some sub-areas that are like fun to just move around in.
Sure.
And I could definitely showcase some of those. Some of the ones that maybe got showcased during the Darker Side run, if anybody missed the SGDQ run, I could definitely kind of go back over some of the fun ones and do those again.
Yeah. Anything you think that's like, especially if it's even just unintended, is a good start for that.
Okay. Unintended, then yeah, I've got you for sure.
I've kind of expanded the show out a little bit because there's a lot of glitchy games out there and for speedruns and stuff, but I feel like I don't want to limit it to only the ones that are very intensely glitchy and have things that the games just, we're learning about how these things work, and so I like to include a little bit more than that.
Right. Yeah, of course. And Mario games, they tend to be quite polished. Like, all things considered, like I kind of made a joke at the beginning, like, man, this game is so broken. And I'm viewing it through a pair of very biased lenses because I'm a speedrunner, so I know.
Yeah.
But, all things considered, compared to a lot of other games, Mario games are quite polished, but that doesn't mean that we haven't been able to pick them apart and find what makes them tick,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing going on in this section here. There's nothing really to report about this boss fight. As jarring as it is that, there's a Dark Souls boss in a Mario game.
It's so jarring for sure. Like
it's very striking, and I kind of like Odyssey for taking some risks in that regard, like with the people in Metro Kingdom and stuff. But unfortunately, this boss doesn't really live up to the hype. It's quite boring. We do a damage boost just to get on top of the dragon's head so that we're ready, and then we just kind of pull all the swords as fast as we can, and then the fight's over. So.
Gotcha. Can you what do the people say in that city again? What do they say?
Lots of things. They say, "Otep, Akino cell phone carry, adjusting me phone."
Thanks. I just needed a quick refresher.
Keep myself through it. Yay! I love how much that kill say that. It's just so good. I'm honestly, for my homework assignment before the next Speedrunners and Dragons, I'm probably just gonna go and listen to the voice clips of all the new Donkers so that I can just throw them at them and make them giggle because it's just
Please
too much fun.
do. You should coordinate with Patty.
Oh yes, and Patty, I have some lines for you to remember, and we'll just have a conversation. Oh man.
Well, anyway, chat.
We're kind of going into the inside joke realm of the
Well, I
show,
think we did
guess.
actually. I think there was actually one episode of Speedrunners and Dragons that did appear on GDQ Hotfix, so it is somewhat related.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. That's
Yes,
right.
it is.
Yeah, Speedrunners and Dragons did have a hotfix show.
It is a group of people who are majority Hotfix showrunners actually coming together to do D&D together, and
That's
it's
true.
ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover. A lot of good people.
And Hotfix did feature one episode. It was like a one-off campaign that was still season 1. Alrighty. So now
Alright.
we are in Bowser's. Actually,
Yes.
really personally like the design of this area as well.
Yep, I got to agree with you on that one. They did something different with Bowser's Kingdom too, because Bowser is supposed to be like the lava zone, but instead they kind of turned it into this like very Oriental style castle. I'm a big fan of that. It also, a lot of people say that it reminds them of like Super Mario Galaxy, the way that it's laid out, because it's like chunks of the game or chunks of the kingdom are separated by these warp stars that you have to, you have to complete the objective and then warp off to the next one, which is pretty
I
cool.
assume this makes it less glitch heavy though. Because of that.
Unfortunately, yes, it's very linear. There are a couple of like unintended things that I can show you, including two of those boss fights.
Sure. Yeah.
That I mentioned. It's definitely not the intended way that you're supposed to do them. But I can also kind of just show off some flashy movement and some interesting things like this here. So we need to collect all 5 of these moon shards. This is the story moon, so this is actually required for this kingdom. Let's see if I can do all the movement right here. Get up on the roof. Come over this way. Nice. And you can see I left Cappy behind to grab that last moon shard, and Mario just kind of jets off to the next place. So that
Very impressive.
be there in time for the moon. I feel like I'm getting kind of consistent at that one. It's such a satisfying moon to get, so that makes me happy.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like outside of just wanting to explain different sections of the game, this has been very, very solid gameplay. Like throw
Thank
some
you.
of these moments into a run, when you're not slowing down, and pretty good run.
We're going to do another capture warp strategy here, leaving Cappy behind so that I can shake my controller and zip right back here. Now, I want to show you this as well. Since we're on the topic of capture warps, this kingdom has a lot of like neat little capture warps you can do. I'm going to go ahead and spawn this moon in here. This is
Okay.
not a world peace series of movements. These moons are a little bit too slow for world peace. But this is a darker side trick. I'm going to bring him down here, and this moon is going to spawn in, and it's going to spawn in kind of slow. So while I'm waiting for that moon to spawn in, I'm going to come back up here, grab this one, throw Cappy to the left. Oh, okay. I just missed it. You can see what I'm trying to do, though, right?
Yes.
I need to put Cappy. Oh, hold on. Put Cappy there. That's okay. The idea
Wow,
is to do a
so
capture
close.
warp. Yeah. So, not so bad. It saves about 2 seconds.
Right.
All right.
So it sounds I see a comment in chat saying that minimum captures on this kingdom gets really glitchy.
Yes, it sure does. So we were talking about here. I can take a pause and talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I'd love
we were
to hear
talking
about
about how like each of these you can see how the islands are separated by like a very long distance of these power wires and stuff.
Yes.
In minimum captures, they use a 2-player strategy called a Cappy Return Cancel, CRC. And the idea is that you can send Cappy on like a ground pound adventure, and he like goes off the stage, and you just do ground pounds in kind of a rhythmic timing. Usually the runner will have like an actual rhythm clock basically to follow, where they have to press inputs at certain times.
Oh, wow.
And by doing it in a succession like that, you can basically send Cappy all the way out to another island, and then Cappy can grab the checkpoints that are on the islands ahead of him, and then you can just warp to those checkpoints rather than taking these. Obviously, that's way slower, and it's obviously way glitchier, but it also reduces your capture count. Bowser's Kingdom is like the one kingdom that had the most captures in that people were trying to eliminate in order to get minimum captures, and that CRC opened up the doors. There's also, people are pointing out the nut jump. The nut jump is a 1.0 exclusive trick. those nuts that grow the beanstalks
Yes.
in all the kingdoms. If you throw it into the water, it gains some interesting properties, and you can basically like jump, throw, and then dive, and then pick it up again in the air, and basically gain infinite height as long as you have good timing. So those two things in combination together make Bowser's Kingdom very, very interesting in minimum captures.
Wow. Is this something that you've ever tried yourself or no?
Unfortunately not, because I just
Okay.
like speedrunning the fastest versions of the game, which
Yeah,
happens to be
fair.
the current one. So, but minimum captures is like a whole other beast, a whole other challenge all on its own, you could say, right? All right.
Yes.
I have paused here because we're about to do the boss fight that has some glitchy stuff. We're going to fight Harriet again as soon as I step onto this platform. Now, the thing that's different about this fight is she's going to throw 2 bombs instead of 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit both back. And you'll notice that the second one decided to just kind of chill there for a while.
Whoa.
And which is great because now I can stand here and throw it at her, and the second phase has been effectively skipped.
Ow.
Yeah. And I don't know how we discovered that. I don't know how we came about that. But yeah, you throw both bombs at her in the same phase, and the second bomb just kind of stays floating there. You can't do that in
Wild.
the Sand Kingdom one because she only throws 1. But
Right.
you can in the second fight. So
That's really cool.
yeah, I love that. Here.
I know that it's not the hardest thing in this game, but like watching those fights specifically happen that as quickly as they do in speedruns is very impressive to me.
Yeah, it's of their own. Like, you kind of just assume that you have to dodge the necks of Bowser's Kingdom. We're just going to very quickly make our way up. But, you know, a little detour over here just to grab the moon. Definitely not supposed to do it that way. You're supposed to grab one of those birds and kind of... Another thing that they do in minimum captures to get up this wall. Actually, how do they do this? Is it... Do they slide down the walls?
Out of bounds!
We did it! That's never happened before. What?
That's never happened before!
I know that there is a much cleaner. What we're approaching right here is like a big wall that you're supposed to use the birds to climb, as you can see. Very tough stuff, but it does work. So,
Jeez.
you know, the dedication to speedrunning is pretty insane, if you ask me.
Yes, absolutely. And you wouldn't think of something like minimum captures just getting that much more advanced, but it makes
It's trying to figure out what the limitations of the game are in order to get to the end as fast. But instead, I'm just going to climb the leg, and it's a little known fact that you can actually ground pound the bubbles to hit the bunnies. You do not need to peck them. So we're going to do that twice. Yep. And yeah, the mech is trying to throw me off all the time. They're going to be bucking. They're going to be using that kind of like invisible force field to throw me off. You might be wondering, well, you've been ground pounding them. Like, what do you need to do? Like, you can't ground pound them here. The legs are rainbow. That means he's invulnerable. So we have to wait. And we're going to get the hit here. And get back on. Oh, I just missed. That's okay. I tried to do a little bit of a faster setup on that final hit. But yeah, that's what speedrunners do essentially, is they just try to stay on top like a bucking bronco and get all of the hits without falling off. If you fall off, you have to wait for a bird friend because there's no other way back up there. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. Oh, this is not a very good position to be in.
So listen.
I'm just kind of along for the ride. That's okay. Just wait for him to stop again. And there we go.
Perfect. Is there
Question
a
in the
jump
chat.
category?
Is there? Oh, there is. Yeah. I'll show you what you can do to kind of mitigate needing to jump. I
Sure.
think you can beat the game without jumping. And there's a counter at the end of the game. Toadette sits in Peach's castle and like gives you moons for arbitrary achievements, like how many times have you jumped? How many times have you thrown your cap? How many bird-related moons have you gotten? Stuff like that.
Okay.
So the game is keeping track of how many jumps you have, and you can beat the game with 0 on that tracker.
Whoa.
And you might be thinking, how do you get any vertical momentum at all? I'll show you.
Okay.
One thing that you should note is that capture jumps don't count. So if you're in a capture and you jump, then it doesn't count towards the counter. Whether you consider that cheating or not, completely depends on you.
Well, it's what Toadette says, right? I think that would be the
Exactly.
most important thing.
Yeah, if the game is judging you for it, then. But you don't actually need to press the jump button to gain vertical height at all. You can do this. If you leave Cappy out and you hold him out and then you walk into him, you just kind of vault into the air. And so that is kind of your makeshift jump button. And you never
Kind
have
of
to,
bounce off of him.
Yeah. Kind of like, it's what's called a vault. So, yeah, but that's Bowser's Kingdom. We cleared Bowser's Kingdom. We only have one more to go. Considering we're talking about things that are not intended, I wanted to showcase something that the All Moons category does. Speaking of Toadette achievements, actually, perfect segue, to be honest. Toadette achievements are really silly, and there's a lot of them, and some of them are really long and tedious, and some of them we just don't end up completing in the 7 hours that it takes to get all the moons.
Right. Oh my
Because
gosh.
one of them is jump 10,000 times. Like, that's a lot of jumps. When you beat the game as a speedrunner, you might have like 3,000. So you need to get the others somehow. So this is how. We come to this pole, and if I remember how to do it, kind of just come in here and we jump at like the right angle, and you just slip through.
Oh,
And now we're under the Odyssey, kind of inside the Odyssey. And the best part about this is that if I mash the jump button, I jump really fast. So all Moons runners use this trick to farm jumps, essentially. It hurts. I'm not going to lie. You have to do this for like 4.5, 5 minutes.
oh my gosh.
Mario sounds a bit like a turkey, which is really fun.
Yes.
But yeah,
that
you
helps
kind of
you
just
get.
Yeah, that helps rack up your jump counter so that you can get the Toadette achievement a little bit faster.
It's the perfect thing to see right here because that was it. Look, anytime we go out of bounds.
How many is anybody keeping a track of like how many times we've been out of bounds?
No, that would be a tough thing for the show.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's
my God.
at least a dozen by this point.
Oh, no, more, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
or take.
Amazing.
Yeah, somebody in the chat is pointing out that there's a 2D section farm as well. There's like a area in Snow Kingdom where you go into the 2D section and kind of just like duck. And there's like a small little alcove that you can also just shake your controllers and jump in. This one is a frame faster per jump than that one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, his voice does. Yes, I agree, Bowser in chat. I agree with that.
Oh, my voice?
No, Mario's voice. They use a very similar sound in another video.
I see.
Okay, Moon Kingdom. We got some
Yes.
stuff in the Moon Kingdom.
Moon Kingdom has got a couple of things. Probably the most infamous trick. It was found in day one, literally the first day this game came out. People had already kind of figured this out. So Moon Kingdom has what I like to call the victory road of Super Mario Odyssey. It's the final gauntlet level. There's like lava and scary music, and it's inside that cave mouth there. But instead of going in there, we're actually just going to go ahead and skip past it, and we're going to use the Sphinx in a way that the game didn't want us to. We're going to jump on his head, and ground pound jump, and get some height. And if we do some wall jumps in some specific places, we can just get up to the top like this. And that's the exit of the cave right there. That's called Moon Cave Skip. It saves whatever time it would take you to do the Moon Cave, which I think at world record level is like 2.5 minutes from start to finish. Like that's the fastest that anyone has ever completed the Moon Cave. But you know, the average player is probably going to take much more time because again, this is a very challenging platforming section. So it'll probably save the average player like 5 to 6 minutes. And you can kind of just do a couple of wall jumps and skip on right by.
That's wild. And for those wall jumps, like, are they in very precise areas?
Yeah, it's because the idea is that the game doesn't want you to wall jump off of like what is the name for this? Perpendicular? Because this is parallel, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't want you to jump off of two parallel walls, otherwise you could just kind of like go up and up and up and up and up, right?
Right.
So because it's kind of rocky and jagged, you're finding a place on the wall that like is more parallel than it is perpendicular and tricking the game. So,
Right.
So that's why.
Gotcha. So it just happens to work because of that.
Yes, thankfully. And again, it was discovered like day one, which is fantastic because it saved every speedrunner like 5 minutes worth of time every single time they went to
Immediately. Yeah.
It is a shame because that area of the game is really cool and has been effectively cut out of every speedrun ever. But it is what
Yeah,
it
why
is.
Bowser's so mad? His wedding day.
Yeah, right? Well, I'd be kind of mad too if Mario kept trying to crash it. So.
Yeah.
So this fight is very similar to the Cloud fight. Nothing really to it. I am shaking my controller to punch Bowser and avoiding with some jumps. I actually think that this variation of the fight is easier because you have to like get yourself into position in front of Bowser when the hats appear. And in Cloud Kingdom, he just jumps right to the platform and starts throwing again. In this one, he's got fire, and the fire might be kind of scary, but you can also... Oh, I did not showcase it properly. You can just kind of roll over it. It's not that scary.
Okay.
I'm going to take damage here. And then backflip and cap throw, kind of like with really good timing, just captures the hat as soon as it's available.
Right.
Now, I'm really glad that you're giving me extra time because to do whatever the heck I want, really. Because this upcoming trick is probably the hardest one in the game, and I hope that I'm able to get it somewhat quickly. We'll see.
That's okay. Again, this is the show where you can take the time for it because we'd rather see the trick. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yes. So this is the escape sequence.
You just jumped over some stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't need to break everything. You just leave it alone. Bowser is somehow a pacifist, as it turns out. But yeah, also here's a little skip. You can just kind of do a triple jump up this way and avoid having to go to the side. Now, upcoming is a 2D section, and the 2D sections are kind of fun and everything, but recently, speedrunners have discovered how to skip it, so I'm going to try. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so the second part of this is like really, really tough, but you can see I'm like landing on things that don't even look like they exist. Yeah, this is why I'm glad that we have a lot of time.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, that was RNG manipulation. That's what that was?
Yes.
That's right.
Totally. No, do it. Like, give us multiple attempts.
Okay, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I will keep going until you tell me to stop.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, this is the 2D section skip, one of the hardest tricks in the game, and just so happens to be right at the very end, which is just lovely. Ask Tyrone how he feels about that. If you manage to land the trick, it saves 7 seconds, and that is all. But at any percent level, like world record pace runs, that's a lot. So I think I'm just a little bit too far to the left. There it is. And then and then I missed the second one. That's really interesting. Okay. Ah, and he hit his head. Bowser, come on now. Oh my goodness.
It's okay.
It's all right. Keep it going. Keep it rolling.
Yeah. I know. I'm so curious to see like the end of it. Gotta do it.
I showed this off. It was a hotfix show. I don't remember what run I was doing. But I was like so stoked that I got it like basically first try during a GDQ showcase. I do have to like really stress, I know I've been making a lot of the rest of the game look really easy. This is, in my opinion, probably one of the hardest tricks that speedrunners do in this game. So it may take me a couple of attempts.
This 7-second 2D skip.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I almost got it there. Come on, Bowser.
Didn't realize Bowser had a triple jump.
Right? There it is.
Oh my god!
First try,
Yay!
baby.
I'll clap for you.
So basically, how does that work? Essentially, that section is made up of like chunks, and they fall away as you're traversing the inside of the 2D section, right? Like the world is crumbling away. That's kind of the whole gimmick. Where those chunks separate is like a tiny little bit of landing space if you land in the right places. Yeah. And so MeWe decided to take it upon himself one day to figure out if that was true all the way up the wall. He spent hours attempting this, and turns out that yes, it is true. You can, in fact, make it up the wall completely just by jumping on the outside. And
that's awesome.
That is, you know, it's one of those like blessing and a curse moments. Speedrunners were like, oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh crap, we're gonna have to start doing it in
speedrunner dedication.
Now.
Not only from finding it, but having to use it.
I only know, having to execute it. I only know of like 2 or 3 real-time runners that will use that trick in speedruns. One of them being Tyrone.
in the current world record.
Yeah, it is in the current world record.
There you go.
But even as far back as like the second place runner will not use that trick because it's just too ridiculous.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's very cool. Hey, you never, yeah, when those ledges exist, there is 5 worlds in the single player of Splatoon 1. You can skip the entire 4th world by jumping on like that little tiny lip
Oh, really?
right next to a barrier. Yeah, there's a little lip you can jump on to like
I
get
love
past like the main barrier for it. And it just reminds me of a very similar kind of mechanic where you're like, oh, there's like a little barrier here that you can just kind of jump up and around. Ta-da.
Just like that. You're right.
Yeah.
We did it. We made it to the end of the game.
We did, but it's not exactly time yet in terms of the showcase. That would just have been time in terms of World Peace run, right?
That's true. Yeah. And the reason that it's called World Peace is because, you know, we are bringing peace to the kingdoms by, you know, solving their troubles and stuff like that, which is great. But the name of the World Peace comes from the Toadette achievement. Like I said, she has a lot of arbitrary achievements. One of them is achieving world peace. And you will gain progress in that every time you collect the final multi-moon in whatever kingdom you're in to kind of unlock the story progression and finish the game. But World Peace also kind of has another kind of distinguishing factor. I think I go to Snow Kingdom here. Yeah, let's go to Snow Kingdom. Every kingdom, including Ruined and Cloud, has what's called a moon rock in it. And the moon rock is, here's this painting platform that we were already at. We've already got the moon from. That moon rock out in the distance, every single kingdom has one of these. And they are only available for you to open once you've achieved peace in that kingdom. And because we did go through the entire game and achieve peace, we can break this open.
Right.
In every kingdom. So this is good because what the moon rock does is it kind of opens up a brand new pool of moons that we can collect. It opens up a bunch of, like, you can see out in the distance there that like pipe has like a complete sub area. Like there's entire sub areas that are available now. A lot of moons that didn't exist before, like that one way out in the distance there, just kind of sitting out by itself, not really doing anything. Like that wasn't there before. It opens up a brand new pool of moons, and it's what takes this game from like I think 500-ish moons all the way up to 880.
Right.
There's
exactly.
a lot. But I decided to come through the painting and do Snow Kingdom because there's this sub area here that I wanted to showcase. I'm going to enter the pipe just to kind of show you what it is and then exit because it's on cycles. But the idea of this sub area is that you put your hat on Cappy. Cappy is taken away from you and you ride these flower platforms to the next area, right?
Right. You
Pretty
have to do that all the way.
You got to do that all the way up, and it kind of takes you up on a journey. And then there's a part up there. You can see another scarecrow, and there's like more flower paths that take you past the bonsai bills, right? But I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it instead.
Okay.
Hopefully I get this on the first try. That'd be kind of cool.
Can't wait. A pretty tall. I mean, literally, I'm saying it's a pretty tall order, but that's because I think it's literally like super duper tall, and it seems like it. I can't picture how it's gonna work besides. Well, okay. I'm starting to picture it.
Yes, so those are very finicky and very, very small platforms. Like, again, I'm making it look kind of easy, but also we can kind of avoid this scarecrow and just wait a little bit and do a capture warp on this, and then we can blast to the end.
Wow.
I'm glad I got that first try. That is a lot harder than it looks.
Everything you do in this game is a lot harder than it looks. Dangerous. Everything looks easy in this game.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty true, honestly. I feel like that's kind of the other thing I really love about Mario games. Like, a lot of people, Galaxy's a great example, actually. Galaxy kind of gets overlooked as a speed game because it's really slow. I think the world record for any percent is like 2 hours and 14 minutes or something like that. So it's kind of slow and it's like really slow paced. But when I play it, I love playing it because we'll boot up a level and I'll be like, oh my God, this level, we get to do this cool thing. I can't wait to show you this cool thing. And then the level's over and we wait 60 seconds. But as soon as the next level boots up, it's like, oh man, it's this one. This is like a really cool thing that we can do. It's like, I just love it so much. I love Mario games for that because there's just so much cool stuff you can do with the movement. Like you can push the boundaries of it so far.
Agreed.
So yeah.
Agreed.
So I think we're gonna continue the painting chain. The painting that we need is actually up on this platform up here. What you're supposed to do is take one of the, they're called Typhus, but the community calls them Blowy Joeys. You're supposed to take one of the Blowy Joeys all the way over here and then like blow this wooden platform across the way to get it over here, and then you kind of just hop out. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to line up here. This might take me a couple tries, or maybe just, literally a couple. There you go.
A literal couple.
Something about the slope of that platform just kind of like allows Mario to stand on the ground again, and it gives him a vault, that movement that I was showing you before, off of a slope, which is not supposed to happen, but the game gets kind of confused, so we just take advantage of that. What else can we do now that we're in Cascade?
We'll leave the moon. Ah, the turtle.
Yeah, I mean, we could collect it if we want to, but... Did you have a question, Fu?
I don't think so. It was mostly just, is there anything else in Cascade that has, you said there may be kind of one thing with this one? Oh, it was the duplication.
Here, I'll show you the, oh yeah, I can go into that room, yeah, for sure. This is the dino skip that you were talking about. Basically, you can just use the dino and the trampoline. This is another beginner trick, by the way. If you're getting into speedrunning, this is a pretty easy one to kind of start with. I know the show isn't based on teaching people how to get into speedrunning, but I will just showcase it one more time.
Yeah, I like throwing that stuff in here, though, because I feel like, again, like, we're already doing a lot of education on, like, how this works. Like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? And then suddenly you have the opportunity to be like, well, maybe I could actually take this. I'm kind of curious about trying this out in a game.
Exactly, yeah. And it really is as simple as, like, lining up this dino and then stepping on the trampoline with its left foot while you're running, and then you just get enough leverage to kind of make it over the top like that.
Oh, right, and here's the moon piece.
Yeah, and I'll break this open just to kind of open everything up. I feel like if we're going to show off the coin duplication, which it is a glitch for sure, then it needs a little bit of explanation. So
yeah,
we have to come over here. So this is a very infamous room for speedrunners. All Moons and 100% runners especially know this room. This is the like the dino room. There's a lot of like burbos around and crazy things. But the dino can break open these like rocks and stuff, right? When he does, you get coins and stuff out of them. Some of these rocks, like this one right here, have coin rings in them. And those coin rings, they spit out in a ring of 8. Now, what we think, the theory on this is that the dino has a bunch of different hitboxes, not just one, because it's kind of like a large amalgamation of a creature, right?
Yes.
So, if I rush towards that rock, watch the coin counter when I hit this rock. That was way more than 8, wasn't it?
Oh.
And the reason for that is because I kind of buried that rock in between the dino's legs. So it was like getting hit by its belly and its leg all at the same time. Okay. And so it spit out multiple duplications of that same coin ring. So you'll notice that I think you said 40. I think it was 40. I think I got 40, or maybe 42 out of it.
2 to 4. I think it was like 30 something for sure.
Okay, yeah, it might have been 32 then. Or wait, it's got to be a multiple of 8, so it was probably 32.
Okay.
And that just means that 8 times 4 is 32. That just means that 4 of the hitboxes hit all at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can duplicate the coins. In 100%, one of the requirements is to get an outfit that costs 9,999 coins. Yes. You don't get that many coins in a playthrough, so you have to come into this room and do that and like clear the room of all the burbos for like a good chunk of time, like an hour and a half. So that's a fun category. Wow.
Yeah, do you know the world record for 100% at the moment?
It's like 8.5. No, 9.5 hours. I think it's in that ballpark. It's very long.
9.5 hours and an hour of that's collecting coins in that room?
Yeah, people tend to like All Moons a little bit better because it's basically the same thing without doing that.
Yes.
Chat is confirming that I got the perfect 48, which is great. 48 is the most amount of coins. Yeah, six duplications of that coin ring. So.
Okay.
What else do I want to show? I could show this. This is just like a flashy sub area, but this one I think is even more kind of busted. I'll show you this one.
You say the word busted, and I say put it on the show.
That's right. So you're supposed to like go over there through the pipe into the 2D section over there, and then you end up over there, right?
Sure.
But I don't have time for that. Oh, hold on. Line this up proper. Oh, I did it to myself again. Hold on. Try it again. We'll try it again. Logank says 8:33. Yeah, that's the world record for 100% right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, just
Nice.
barely gets my feet on the platform there. Yeah. Oh. And then the best part
Saves
is,
in this showcase today.
yes. Platforming skill on display, thankfully. Thankfully, I'm
my
holding
gosh.
on to it.
The second time we've seen an actual 2D section.
Right? Yeah, we
Okay.
skipped almost all of them in the speedrun. So
Yeah.
I'm
There's only
trying to
one
think.
that you do in, like, there's only one done in the world record then for world peace, right?
For world peace. Oh man, is there any in the? I'm actually not
Well, you
sure.
have to do the
Oh, the
Metro Kingdom one.
festival. Yeah, you do have to do the festival. That's right.
That'd be the only one.
I think you're right. Yeah, if you do the 2DSS, the Bowser skip at the end, then yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything in Bowser's Kingdom. There is something I want to show you. We were talking about vectoring at the beginning of the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where, like, if you're traveling through the air, I'm just going to showcase it with like the regular jump here to kind of showcase it. You gain a lot of speed if you like travel in a curved line in the air. And I think it has something to do with like the game is trying to calculate your forward momentum, but also your sideways momentum at the same time. And
Like
so
add them.
Yeah, it like kind of adds them together and tries to calculate it so you stay relatively the same momentum, but it doesn't do a great job, so you end up picking up speed. This particular platform has an excellent way to showcase this. There is actually a cap to that vector. They did think to put a cap on it, but for some reason they didn't think to do it with side flips. So if I do a side flip right here, oh, hold on, no, don't do that. That's not what you do.
Oh, you do a side flip and then you.
If you do a side flip and you land on the ground and then you fall off the platform, then you're going to die. That's a guarantee. But if you do a side flip and you miss the platform, then we can maybe see. They did not cap the vector speed of a side flip because you don't really do side flips very often. So let's see. I'm just gonna kind of go here, and it might not look like much right now. But you're gonna notice pretty quick that Mario's picking up speed very fast.
Yes. Wait. What?
Yeah.
Ow!
Whee!
What?
Yeah. So side flips have a lot of momentum potential. The only problem with them is that it takes forever to get up to that really high speed. So you have to be really high up. And that's about the only place that you can kind of witness the momentum pickup like
Wow.
that.
That was
It's
awesome.
kind of fun. Yeah, I love that.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad to show it off.
Did that get to like BLJ speeds?
Oh, basically, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing is like BLJ's is infinite speed pickup, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't have any death planes holding you back and you were high enough up, you could just keep gaining infinite speed
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. That's a relatively new discovery, actually. So I'm glad that I have a platform to be able to show that off. It's super fun.
Yeah. Again, this is what it's here for. This is what the show is here
That's
for.
right. That's never happened before. It feels so good to be able to showcase that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's continue through the painting chain. Because all the kingdoms have their own little charms. We won't worry about the moon rock. There's a couple sub areas that are like fun. You do some unintended stuff, but it's like mostly just like, oh yeah, well of course you can do that. Like you just have to jump over the stage. So nothing too exciting. We'll make our way to
Right.
Seaside. Oh wait, we can't do that because we have to open up the moon rock. Okay, well just take the Odyssey. It's fine. It's fine. We'll do things the slow way. Video game.
Gotta do it the slow way for this. Let's pick like a handful more maybe of like either the painting route or if you think of anything else along the way that you're like, oh, this is something you use in this category that
Yeah, for sure.
oh, sounds good.
I'm trying to think of some of those for sure. And I feel like if we just kind of navigate the kingdoms, then we might be like, oh yeah, right. So I'll just continue along with the painting chain.
Sounds good. Fun.
I'm having a great time. Like, you know, me playing Mario games and breaking them open is like has been a passion project of mine since I was a kid. This is just
Gotcha.
something that I've always really loved to do. So, the fact that
Would you say for this game then, in relation to that, has it mostly just been like learning the strats for you, or have you tried to do anything to like help with the glitch hunting or like add in any kind of?
I mean, that is an
time saving
incredible point to make, because like speedrunning is not just the runners who execute, right? Speedrunning is also, you know, the glitch hunters and the people who find the strats, but also, you know, the people who kind of theorize the routes and stuff like that. Like, there's a bunch of roles that happen in speedrunning. And I have never really taken on the role of a router. Sometimes I'll have like a stroke of inspiration, like, oh, we're doing this right now, but what if we did it in this order instead? Or like, what if we went out of our way to get this one instead of this one? So I have like some very minor contributions across the board, but
Sure.
there are people who like actively hunt for glitches. Like, they know how video games work, so they'll throw themselves at it. I feel like
Right.
glitches are found in one of two ways. They're either a complete accident, like Zinpar's roll canceling against a wall and going through it, or they are people like Minush or like Tuval. I think Tuval is their name. Very famous for finding Spyro glitches, the Gelato Beach skip in Sunshine.
Yes.
They also were the one who found the fish clip that I showed you, where you like push against the invisible barrier.
Oh, that's Tuval. Okay, very cool.
They are very, very involved in speedrunning, and they have a knack for how games work. Some people
Right.
like to make the joke that he works for Nintendo because he just kind of comes out of nowhere, comes out of the woodwork, and like, here's how to break the game, have fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's
I
his
did it,
role in
haha.
speedrunning. Like, he's just
Right.
as important as anybody who runs the game because of the discoveries that
absolutely.
he finds, right?
Right. Well, still
yeah.
don't discredit yourself if you think that there's been like some minor movement stuff
Oh,
that
of
have still
course.
helped save time. It's still something that is important for the run.
I absolutely agree, yeah. It all kind of comes together in a community effort, right?
Right.
I just wanted to showcase this on the topic of like
Cool.
getting to painting platforms in a way that you're not supposed to. You can kind of
So
just
once
do
you
that.
beat it, you can then go into that water stream and then ta-da.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can
That's
see
really
that's
cool.
the painting for Bowser's Kingdom. That's where we would have come out if I wasn't rejected so rudely. We would be here. But yeah, you can kind of just use the thing with the Gushins is that their height is manipulated by like what you last stood on. So you see if like I'm on the ground here, I can only go this high. That's where it's
Gotcha. So that's why you have to go from platform to platform.
right. So I
Also,
take
just
this
like-
Gushin.
They use
Here.
very similar rules in Kirby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly like Kirby. And now my height is this. So it's just a matter of kind of momentum building.
Right.
But yeah,
And then
that's
you can go over
kind
here.
of just B-side. I'm going to go ahead and hop in here. This will
Woo!
take us to the next place, I think.
Cool.
The next place, Lake? Yeah, okay. We probably don't need to do Lake because I already kind of exhausted all the cool things that you can do in Lake Kingdom.
Sure.
Unless you want to see a sub-area that is definitely not intended. We could do that.
I mean, you definitely can.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm so giddy. I'm like, what kind of cool stuff do you want me to see?
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I love hosting the show so much. And I'm sure those of you watching can understand. Because you chose to watch the show. I don't know if you're just like, well, it's GDQ. I'm just going to watch. But, you know, for anybody who's been here before and is watching along, you're like, yes, we find this stuff really cool. And you, I'm sure if you've, again, been a part of, you know, watching the show, can understand how excited runners can get when they're like, wait, I have a I can just show off this thing here. I don't have to worry about speedrunning it right now. That's really cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Okay, so what are we doing?
For this sub area. Probably a pretty boring one. Probably not very memorable in the eyes of most people who played the game because you just
Sure.
kind of have to like hit these flower platforms and then you like slowly glide down and like hold the ledge and then like maneuver your way over. But we're speedrunners. We don't have time for that. We don't have
never
time,
have
for that. Exactly. So a speedrunner would approach this room and do something like this. Just kind of skip over. Make this jump here. Very nice.
Wow.
Oh, and then I bonked. Oh, no.
Well, now we get to see it again.
Now we get to see it again. That's right. I just wanted to pseudo slow-mo the beginning. long jump. Yeah, and all of those are like really drawn out.
Yes.
I'll just do it this way. And you're supposed to like wait for that platform, but speedrunners know exactly how to get the maximum height out of their jumps so that they can just get up to the flower platform without having to wait for it. It's some pretty crazy stuff. Speedrunners have a lot of time to dedicate, and they have spent a lot of time and are very passionate about the games that they play. So they were able to figure out stuff like that.
That was super cool.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. Yeah, let's go on to lunch, and I think actually no, with the painting chain we're still kind of not so far along it.
Okay. Lunch sounds great right now.
Yeah. I could go for some luncheon. Stakeout? You want some lunch?
Want to meet up for lunch?
Okay, I'm down.
Luncheon? Okay.
Lunch at my place?
Cool.
Oh boy.
Are you back at GDQ?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, please take me back. Please take me back. I'm begging. What can we do in sand? I wonder what we can do in sand.
So I feel like, again, a lot of that movement and a lot of the skips and things are found were all around the pyramid because you're like, well, we don't want to go inside, so let's see what else we can do to skip around it. But
right.
I wonder if there's anything else on the side, like some of the smaller moons, like on some of the structures or off in like the distance, or...
I can think of like one thing maybe. I mean, there's all sorts of things, and it's like there are all sorts of gems just everywhere, of course. We're gonna take this boy. And I'm just kind of using it to traverse the kingdom. We didn't explore very much of Sand Kingdom when we were here the first time, so
right,
just a little speed to help us along. But over here in the corner, there's this sub area up here, and I think I'm just going to go in and show you that this is possible. This isn't even a speedrun trick. It's not even close to a glitch. It's even kind of intended. But, you know, I'm just going to make a bunch of people mad at me. This is supposed to be like a bullet bill puzzle. You know, you capture the bullet bills and then you go through the little windows and you like, you blast your way through. But you can also just kind of do this and walk along the walls and just avoid the whole thing. You can see there's the moon down there if you wanted to get it. There's also a coin stack up here, so they knew that you could do this.
They knew you'd come up.
And if you just want to, you can just go right to the end. Get the moon at the end.
Oh my gosh.
But I also wanted to come over here because something fun that you can do with these. So this is a timer challenge, right? You put Cappy on the scarecrow and a timer challenge appears, right?
Yes.
But if you kind of like leave Cappy close by the scarecrow and then walk into the timer challenge. Oops, hold on. Walk into the timer challenge and then home it in. You can kind of just like chill in the timer challenge.
You're just in it.
I'm just in it, just cause. And you can kind of use that like a combination of like movement to do that timer challenge a little bit faster rather than like trying to navigate your way into that little crevice. You can do something. You can do something like this, where you're already kind of rolling towards the end of it, and then you can just.
And then you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, make it super quick.
Exactly. Yeah, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of like other, I guess. There's a lot of unintended stuff in this game, that's for sure. I feel like every sub-area in this game. Oh, that is actually one of the showcases that I did for GDQ. I think it was on Nuclear Reactions show that she did. She does a show that's like category extensions or whatever. Am I right?
No category left behind. Yep.
No category left behind. I think I was the premiere episode of that show, actually. And I did all sub-areas. So if you're on the GDQ YouTube channel and you're looking for something to watch, all sub areas is an absolute treat because that goes through every sub area. And for the uninitiated, sub areas are those areas in the game that you like enter a door or go through a pipe and it like separates you from the kingdom for a while. All of those will have 2 moons in them, and the goal of the category is to just get all of the moons in those sub areas as fast as possible. It's a very good watch. Like if you want to see a good showcase of the game being completely broken open, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Good,
right.
good episode reference. Another wonderful hotfix show that we have here.
Lots of good content on GDQ, as it turns out.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind of
nice.
traversing through the kingdoms, going through the paintings. Trying to think if there's anything that I can showcase. I know there is in Luncheon for sure.
Okay.
And maybe I can do that as like the finale one.
Yeah.
Because
We don't have anything in Mushroom to see.
Yeah, Mushroom Kingdom is not very broken, unfortunately. Lots of slow stuff.
Sure.
Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll finish in Mushroom. There's one thing.
Okay. Great. So we got 2 areas left for some extra stuff to see, and then I guess that'll be it. This is so
That's
fun
right.
though. I'm having such a lovely time.
Me too. There's so much cool stuff in this game. So much like fun stuff to do.
Yeah. It's definitely like I always recommend it if people are looking for new Switch games to get and they haven't tried it yet.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Okay, well, I actually didn't want... I was trying to find a checkpoint that was closer to where I was going. Maybe if I can remember how to do the movement here. This is just an example of, like... Maybe I can do like this. You can actually just, like, use Cappy in tandem with Mario to just kind of get around the stage. Definitely not intended. Definitely not what you're supposed to do. That actually did get put into like the All Moon speedrun for a while, but has unfortunately been routed out. But you know, just silly things like that. Oh crap! I forgot to break the moon rock. Okay, I got the checkpoint. That was not for nothing.
Yes. Now you can go right back.
Exactly.
You got Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi's Balloon World. That was added in patch 1.2. It's part of the reason why they patched all the stuff that they did, because they didn't want, you know, little Timmy to be upset that you were hiding moons out of bounds. Like, that's mean. Don't do that to little Timmy. So they tried very desperately to patch certain things in this game, and they failed.
Right.
As it turns out.
I mean, it's just how speedrunners work.
Yep. If you try to limit us, we will come back stronger than ever.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Now we've got the moon rock, so now we can go back to where we were. So this is, if you watch the SGDQ run, this is Darker Side movement that you're about to witness. Ganon was able to showcase this sub-area. I'll do the same thing that I've been doing this whole time. We'll go into the sub-area. I'll kind of show you what it looks like. The idea is that you are in an auto-scroller. You sit here on this platform, and you wait for it to very slowly and painfully move through the level.
Go over and around. Yeah, I see the moon up at the top.
Yeah, there's a moon up there. That's like the hidden moon, quote unquote. And then you like go up and around, and we don't have time for that. So instead, what I'm going to do is this. See if I can get it first try.
Okay. Can't wait.
Oh, that's not right. Hold on a second. Should be okay still. Nice.
Nice. Oh my god.
So yeah, just a combination of like all sorts of logic going on there. I know that like Mario becomes incapacitated when his butt is lit on fire, meaning that I can't throw Cappy, I can't do any jumps. So I try to use, oh my goodness, I'm gonna die. I try to use like a combination of like a cap throw and then hitting the lava. Like I can kind of demonstrate it again. Like I'll throw Cappy before Mario. Oh my goodness, why am I so bad at hitting these cloud platforms today? There we go. Like I'll throw Cappy here and then the lava and then the bounce and then die on the wall because I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
But you can kind of see what this is actually a lot harder to explain and do at the same time, as it turns out.
That is the other. That is the other thing about this.
It's so goofy because you just like bounce off all the lava platforms. But
right.
All right. 10th time's the charm. Nice. Just like that. And all of that put together amalgamates into you being able to get to that platform and then also still just There we go.
There we go.
Those cloud platforms are so finicky.
Yes.
So finicky. But all right. Okay, we've done it. We did it. We made it past the sub area. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's really cool though. I mean, again, it's just a movement. I mean, there's only so much for me to say, especially as somebody who doesn't know this like you do, but just seeing the movements all put together.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fun.
Let's do one more unintended thing on our way to Mushroom Kingdom, and then we can end with the finale.
Sounds
because, you know, everywhere that we go in this game is just unintended stuff, to be honest. So,
good. Right.
this little 2D area, I can't really explain it beforehand because it's on a timer, but you can see it's another moving platform that we kind of have to wait to move, unless we do this. Oh, no, not that. Don't do that. That's not it. Nope. And I missed the checkpoint because I thought I was going to get it first try. Your confidence is sometimes a fault. Dangers. That's okay. We'll do it again. All right. I will get the checkpoint this time, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
But this time you won't need it.
That's right. That's right. That's the confidence I like to hear.
Yeah. I get it. I know how it works.
That's right. Love the little pipe slurp. Okay. Let's try that again.
Sure. That
There
helps
we
give
go.
you speed.
Just like that.
Nice.
You do have to take a little bit of damage from the fireball, but you do get the spoon a lot faster than if you were waiting for the platform to ferry you all the way across. So,
Right.
but yeah,
just hop
there
back
we
out.
go.
Oh, perfect.
And puts us right back in the mushroom painting here. So
Absolutely perfect.
excellent. So here we are in Mushroom Kingdom again. I'm just gonna grab this. Oh, or
One
I'm
place
gonna.
where you don't get moons, even though it says that they're moons. They're clearly stars.
You got a moon.
So cute. I love the nod. I love the 64 nod. It's so nice.
Yeah, me too. There's like so much nostalgia baked into this game, like with the 2D sections, and like this entire kingdom is basically just a Super Mario 64 throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of nods to the previous games. I think somebody was mentioning that like the gushing refill sound, the sound that the water enemies make when they refill their water sounds like when Flood refills. I'm not sure if that's actually canon or not, but that's pretty cool.
Oh.
So yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Something I did want to show you is this. So these rocket flowers are here, and remember that they can refresh, right?
Yes.
So if we grab a bunch, I'm just going to do that. I can spin throw and ground pound, and it'll give me all my rocket flowers back, right?
Okay.
And I can just keep doing that forever. But something cool that happens with rocket flowers is if you go into a pipe and you jump, you actually maintain all that speed.
Oh my gosh. What? Can you go back the other way?
I tried. I accidentally hit the wall and I kind of bonked, but yeah, if I had turned around properly, I could have just like turned around and got all that speed.
That's
But yeah.
awesome. That would have been so cool. But yes, yeah, oh, there you go.
Just like that.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I didn't realize that. Is that the only place in the game where you can utilize that?
I think so. Because all the other rocket flowers are in places where there's not really pipes to go into, as far as I know. So, but it is, honestly, it is kind of just fun to just run around with the rocket flowers, knowing that as long as you do a spin throw and ground pound, you'll just never lose them. You can just kind of just
That's
keep on going.
wild that it just
Keep on
stays. As long as you do it before they run out, then you're good.
Yeah, you just kind of keep your eye on the timer, and they'll just
So
keep
can
going
you
forever.
can you use that to get up onto the top of the castle where Yoshi is?
Oh my gosh, how would I be able to do that? The thing is, like, it's really, really hard to get jumps out. Nope. Running on the moat water is something I've never done before, though. That's kind of cool.
That was cool. That was actually really cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, I was kidding anyway.
Okay, one more showcase, I suppose. So there's that. The other
is
thing
there
is
a
that
task of this game?
is there a TAS? Oh, they're working on it right now. If you Google Super Mario Odyssey TAS, you will find clips, just little segments here and there. You might even find full kingdoms, but the full run of the game is still being worked on. TAS is nuts for this game, you can imagine.
Yes.
Like all of the crazy like cap throws and cap bounces and like all of that stuff is just kind of condensed even more somehow. And it's something incredible to watch. So,
Cool.
but yeah, one more thing to showcase, I suppose. Something a little bit anticlimactic maybe, but The reason, or the way you're supposed to get Lady Goomba there is to empty the moat and then stack up all the Goomba friends so that the tower is tall enough to reach Lady Goomba. You can see she's very excited that we're very close. It's very sad. There's lots of water. If you put a Goomba in the water, it doesn't like that, clearly. Can I get this Goomba back? Okay, I can. But Goombas are like very susceptible to momentum changes. Like I'm kind of just jumping in zigzagging lines, and you can see the Goombas like picking up a lot of speed. Like,
oh, whoa.
Really fast, right? Especially off of slopes. So, with that in mind,
Okay.
if I should probably approach it from the other side because that's the side I'm more used to.
You're going
But-
slightly to the left and right.
Yeah, I'm kind of like zigzagging. I'm doing vectoring, right? Vectoring
Sure.
affects Goombas a lot. You can see that like before the moat, there's kind of a bit of a slope. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump, and I can just kind of
Oh my
jump
gosh.
across.
And then you get right there.
That's right.
Aww. You found love at last.
Yeah, and then I just kind of leave him
Because
over there.
Mario will never get it from Peach. I mean, oh,
So true. So true. At GDQ, we talked about our theories of why that is, but I'm
we sure did.
not sure if we can talk about them on this show.
Yeah, we can't get into it that much.
Yeah,
Not
that's,
here.
That's an exclusive for our personal channels, which you'll have to check out. Make sure you
Right,
do go
or
check
feel
out
free
Kung Fu
to
Fruit
right?
By
Feel
the
free
way.
to also come to a in-person Games Done Quick event. Very fun.
That's
And you
true.
can ask me about it then, or date.
Yeah. Honestly, if you have even like an inkling of speedrun, if you're speedrun adjacent at all, if you are interested in it as a hobby in any capacity, I would agree that you should check out a GDQ event in person. It's worth it. You'll love it. So,
Yes, I agree. I mean, I will always talk about that for sure. Speaking of talking about things and talking about yourselves and events and things, Dangers, where can we find you? Please let everybody know what you're doing, where we can find you, what you're working on, everything like that.
the shameless plug. Well, don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. My name is Dangers. You can find me at twitch.tv/Dangers or on Twitter at twitter.tv/ no, that's not right. Twitter.com.
Twitter.com.
Yeah, that's the one. /Dangers_TV. And I do this. This is my channel content. I think my channel is kind of mostly known for the cozy vibes and the really welcoming atmosphere. Very LGBT friendly, but my goals are mostly just speedrunning goals. I like to play Mario games a lot, and I like to go fast in them and break them. So if you ever want to watch, come chill, come have cozy vibes, twitch.tv/Dangers. We stream just about every night, starting at about 7 p.m. Eastern and going until whenever we feel like stopping.
Cool.
So,
And what about what else are you working on? Do you have like future projects you want to do, like future games you want to learn how to speedrun, and do you post anywhere else?
oh, absolutely.
Like,
I
YouTube.
do have TikTok and I do have YouTube. I have not been posting as frequently to those, but you can find them at Dangers_TV on both of those as well. My projects are just improving at speedruns. I want to do any percent for Super Mario Odyssey. That's kind of what we're focusing on right now. But we're also kind of going through the backlog of Mario games. I realize I haven't streamed casual Mario games on my channel, probably because I'm speedrunning them, but going back and exploring some of the ones that I haven't played in a while and just playing them on stream is probably something we'll do in the future. So if you just want a good Mario player casually playing previous Mario games, that's also content that you'll see soon. So
Awesome. There you go. Plus, you have the wonderful voice as well, of course, attached. And
you're too kind, Fu. You're too kind.
well, it's just what it is. Look, plenty of people in chat have said it. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Huge thank you to Dangers for being my first post SGDQ show. It's always fun to come back from a Games Done Quick event and see all the new faces and new people checking out Hotfix content for the first time. So thanks for sticking around long enough to check out our show over a week later. I can't believe it's already been a week. It's been wild. And I know we all can't wait for the next event.
It simultaneously feels longer than that and way shorter than that at the same time. I don't understand.
Agreed. But it's a great thing that we have all this Hotfix content now in between events. Speaking of events coming up next, we have Flame Fatale, which is going to be so fun. That is our all-women online speedrunning event from August 21st to the 27th. So Flame Fatale is a Frame Fatale event that benefits Malala Fund, who helps promote education to women all around the world. You'll see yours truly speaking with some people who work with Malala Fund during that event, as well as hosting, etc. But it is usually noon to midnight, so that we can actually get some rest in the evenings, kind of marathon. which is great. So you can please check that out. You can type exclamation FF in chat if you would like to learn more, or you can just go to gamesdonequick.com/frame fatale for more info, which is like FRAME, like frame, and then fatale is FATALES. So some people say frame fatales, but you know, it is what it is. And then yeah, we have our main YouTube channel. We have our highlights channel you can always check out, as well as our Instagram. So lots of like hotfix shows and like bits and pieces of hotfix content you can check out, again, on the YouTube channels, plural, and Instagram and things like that. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Anything else to mention? From now until July 15th, which we only have a few days left on, GDQ's revenue from subs, primes, gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered after taxes will be donated to Doctors Without Borders by Games Done Quick. So, you know, we already raised over $3 million, and this will just help add some more. So thank you all for your support on that. And always appreciate you being here. Excited for the next few shows we have coming up. I've just lined up some wonderful, wonderful people like Dangers here. So please, again, go follow Dangers. Give him some love. Tell him you were here from the Hotfix show and that you want to see more of that Mario content. And then we will see you all next time. Feel free to tune back in 2 weeks from now at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we'll catch you on the next That's Never Happened Before. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great night.